And we are live. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday, not Wednesday, because we are in a brand new time slot. And we so appreciate everybody coming over to the new slot. Get to watch us on Tuesday to allow Corso and the fantastic people at Lark Network to do their thing on Wednesdays. Make sure that we're staying live and up to date. And this allows us to keep our slot and keep you back-to-back D&D every 2 weeks. So, hell yeah. Super excited for all that. Pretty much. I mean, it's... Oh. Thank you, chat. No player sounds. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Hang on. Hang on.
We got nerfed.
We did get nerfed. We got audio nerfed.
You guys should be fine now.
Oh, my God.
I mean, they're always fine.
Can you hear us,
fine.
chat?
Nice.
Noise.
Yeah, I can see.
Did nobody hear my hilarious joke?
There we go.
Oh,
Thanks,
unfortunate, Kevin. Nobody heard your hysterical joke.
Oh no, what would happen if Kevin still remained muted? That'd be
what?
weird.
Oh no. Right click
I'm
and
gonna
mute.
get a QR code for next session, and when you scan it, I will write out what I said while I was muted.
No, Kevin, you have to
I'm
do
not
it.
joking.
You have to
I
do
will
it in binary. And then put it on the
Oh yeah,
that was one of the greatest things. For anybody who didn't watch Critical Role last week, Sam had a QR code that led to a binary code that you had to translate, and it said, "Don't fuck this up, Travis." It was amazing. It was amazing. All right. God. Yes, the audio gods refused it to be heard, Zane. You are correct. But with that, yeah, we had an amazing session of Beyond the Realms yesterday. Kevin started off an awesome Battle Royale fight sequence that they're going to finish off next week. But for today, we shall get into tonight's episode 16 of The Fey Lie. So, The Fey Layin.
The Phelan Rock.
So,
Lie.
Last we left off, having found some information relating to the disappearances of a few people in the city of Felderwin, the group confronted Fialtes Bladevein, a red dragonborn accused of being the cause, only to discover he saw a demonic entity believed to be a Rakshasa that was lurking below the city. With a bit of ingenuity, Les Paul found a hatch-like entrance to a series of underground tunnels, and after reuniting with Phelan, the group explored further as the tunnels shifted and wove their way below the heart of the city. Eventually, a long, straight, dark tunnel was reached, with more sturdy supports and ceilings than the rest of the tunnels so far. Phelan and Les attempted to sneak their way forward, but were discovered and attacked by a pack of 3 hellhounds in the chamber. With a wayward firebolt striking him, one of the dogs knocked Les unconscious, but the rest were dispatched, and the group took some time to recover in the newly discovered chamber. In one corner, a trapped compartment holding an iron box with a substantial amount of coin and a pair of gleaming adamantine daggers was discovered, while the other side of the room converged into a short hallway that appeared to be blocked off. Supports holding the ceiling were broken, and heavy rocks lay piled up, preventing any further movement. So with the group having completed a short rest and recovering from the ordeal, you would guess it's closing in on late evening, 7:30, 8 o'clock or so. And with lit torches in the room available to you, what would you like to do?
Cast Divine Sense. No, I'm kidding.
Already done.
Wait, Corso.
I'm making that shirt. Block letters.
Do we want to go and... or does anybody know where this leads to? And I'll point to the other tunnel, the broken down one. Or do we think that would it be worth it to try and, I guess, open it?
I mean, the question is what were the dogs guarding?
Well,
They wouldn't be here if there wasn't something worthwhile, I don't think.
Well, since we can't see a goddamn effing thing in here, because I think it's still pretty dark, no?
Oh, I didn't realize it. Yeah.
Maybe we should try to get some light source going and try to see if we could hear maybe what's on the other side before we pursue, because clearly there's very scary goddamn things down here.
That's fair, and I forget that not everyone can see here. Let's.
yeah.
Yeah, you would forget, huh?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
You would forget we can't see.
So with you guys having
A little
taken
bit above my head, it's just all gray.
with you guys having taken a short rest, I assumed that you just lit up a couple of torches and kind of left them in the room. So
Okay.
yeah.
I have a. I was just say I have a lantern in case we need it.
Yeah, I promised I would tell you what I would do if I could see my character sheet.
If only D&D
There's only
Beyond
two
were
things
working.
you do.
Yeah.
If you go to D&D Beyond Character Wrap, you can look at your character sheet.
If you wrote it down on paper like a reasonable person,
We already talked about this, okay? It's never gonna happen. I'm kidding.
Let's put it this way: D&D. For those of you just tuning in, D&D Beyond is being a little testy today.
being a little bitch.
Well, okay. Well, they're never gonna sponsor us now. Just
D&D
had to go.
This stream was definitely not
Sponsored
sponsored
by D&D Beyond.
Clearly.
Oops.
Wizards of the Coast, I'm sorry, but only.
I'm sorry, but fix your shit.
It's okay. It's not
Wizards
even
of the
wizards.
Coast. Wizards of the
Wait,
Coast
has
is
no
like
one else been sponsored by Wizards of the Coast before? Ooh, awkward.
I tried, okay? I tried D&D Beyond. I really did.
I think they sponsored me once. Maybe.
Happened to me one time. I'm gonna milk that event for the rest of my life. Yeah, I'm a professional D&D player. Thank you. Just take
Yeah, and you want to know how I play? I play with this Jai of the Beholder dice. Coupon code is in the bio.
Don't forget the code Saintverse for 10% off your next purchase.
Oh, God.
All right, so we've
All right.
already gone through and we've gotten the daggers that we found, and we've taken care of all the dogs. You said the up top area was completely blocked, right?
So there are heavy rocks that are there, and it looks like it's been collapsed in some way. Make an investigation check for me.
Yeah,
Of course, it's
sure.
like get these fucking idiots.
Can
Right.
some of us assist him to give him advantage on this roll?
Absolutely. If you want to give advantage or if you want to roll separately, up to you.
Can I give disadvantage?
I'll
Alright.
just give him advantage.
Okay, Nebula, you have advantage.
All right, I'm gonna take 2d20. and
Kev, I'll come
roll
to you in a sec.
Rolling them, and I have a
Yes,
plus
Mr.
3 on
Pine.
investigation. I rolled a 17 and a 14, so that means I have an unnatural 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. Taking a look at the way that this is caved in, collapsed, some of the rocks don't match what you would imagine is the ceiling. This looks like it probably was caved in some way, but getting a really good look at what the supports are, you realize that the supports don't actually look to have snapped under pressure. They look to have been broken, and this looks to have been blockaded. And kind of getting a feel around, and you're not the strongest individual per se, but picking up some of the rocks and shifting them aside, it does look like some of these have been placed to kind of, as if to blockade this off, rather than it's a full-on collapsed tunnel that lies ahead.
Maybe
So
there
it
was
seems like someone would want to keep us out of whatever's hiding behind door number 3.
Well, then let's get in.
Not really versed in rock removal. Is anyone here a little better suited for such? And then, yeah, I see.
Yeah, and Kev,
Can I force move the rubble?
you certainly can. So, is there a limitation on your force move? What is the wording on it?
So it's part of the Psy Warrior abilities, known as telekinetic movement. You can move an object or a creature with your mind. As an action, you can target one loose object that is large or smaller, or one willing creature other than myself.
Okay.
You can see the target, and it is within 30 feet of you. You can move it up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see.
Okay. Yes. Short and sweet. You kind of look over and get a feel for this, and you notice that Nebula is kind of shifting through a couple of the rocks, pulling up some of the smaller ones, pulling up and heaving some of the larger ones, and having a little bit of trouble getting there. And you just kind of reach your hand out, grab onto one of the rocks with your mind, and just lift it off the pile and drag it across the room. And it'll take a while. You know, it's every 6 seconds you can lift and move a rock, but you will probably be able to clear it alone or with help. With help, it would just let it be done faster.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you if you consider this rubble kind of like one object, because it does say
Yeah.
you can move an object
Loose
or
object. So the rubble is not a singular loose object. Each of the stones is considered a loose object because you aren't able to move the ones that are down underneath because they are not considered loose.
So would I just be moving like one giant
One
piece of
rock at a
basically?
time, essentially. Yeah.
It's once per short rest. So I'm just trying to think if
Oh.
this just like a one and done, or can I just be like bap, bap,
Right.
bap,
Sorry.
bap?
No, this would be like if there was a rock that would maybe be difficult for all of you to lift because of the sheer weight of it, this would allow you to move that one rock. I thought this was a thing you could just keep doing.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to be clarifying because it's a new
Yeah.
it's a new ability. I want to word it properly.
Right, okay.
I'm being fair to you. It would be sick if I just kept Spider-Man and things.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be like legit.
So we'll say if there would be a rock that you feel like would be a large obstacle that you guys maybe try to move and you can't do it, this is your Hail Mary and it will just move the rock for you. But if you want to actually dig it out, you'll have to take the time to dig it out.
All right. I'll relay that bit of information to everybody. Just saying, like, I could probably move a very big, heavy chunk if I need be, if you're trying to clear this out, but I kind of might want to lift the smaller bits if you don't find another way. I'm just saying, I can move things in my mind. It's weird. I'll spare it back. It's fine.
Like mage hand?
Kind of. But you won't see it.
Interesting.
Oh,
It's also much better than Mage Hand, I'm just gonna say.
I object.
I think mage hand is a very versatile spell, but
I mean,
nonetheless,
yeah,
let's
it's good.
get to work
I'm just
on
gonna stop
moving these
here.
rocks, and she'll cast mage hand and start moving rocks that she can move with mage hand.
Rocks that weigh less than like a kilogram because Mage Hand can't lift anything heavy.
Yeah, it can only
Well,
lift
Jules
5
can't lift
pounds.
anything heavy either. She's got a -2 to strength.
Well then.
But we'll say
Margot will just be in the back, just be like, obviously, I don't want to lift anything really heavy. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna work on the more medium to moderate sizes.
Mhm.
You know, because like I don't want to break a claw or anything like that. But obviously, why would I do any of that when there's, you know, psionic McBrains and large Robo Boy at my behest?
Margot's supervising is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm the project
And-
manager.
As a bugbear, like I can lift a whole lot of things. So what I'm gonna be doing is like taking big rocks and then like turning around to my mage hand and giving it to it, and I see it like struggling and falling all the way to the ground, and I'm like whispered to it, I'm like, "Stop! The psionic one can see you. Pull your shit together."
I'm the psionic guy.
I just imagined he like picks it up and gently puts it down, and you give it a high five.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. You just drops it right in front of me, and I just pick it and move it away.
Okay, so are you guys going to try and dig this out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so which two characters, so Phelan and Jules, you two helping with Mage Hand, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
And then Galahad and Les, you two kind of doing the larger dig outs?
That's
Yes.
the list.
Okay.
And if there's a big piece that's too heavy for anyone, it's kind of dislodged. I'm gonna.
All right, sounds good. So with Phelan and Jules kind of clearing the way using the mage hand, almost like scooping hands on the ground to clear away some of the rubble as it drops down, little bits and pieces here and there to get out of your guys' way as you're lifting off the heavier boulders. Most of it goes pretty quick at first. You know, first 5 minutes or so, you're lifting a series of rocks off, placing them down off to the side. You begin to make a bit of a passageway, and you can notice that it is definitely a fair bit of rock, but you are making headway. You are getting further into the tunnel. There will eventually reach a point where you will run into a series of rocks that are quite on the heavy side. So Galahad and Les, I need you two to both make just straight strength checks. This is not athletics.
Let's go.
Great strength.
That's 16 total.
16, okay. Les?
Mhm. 13 plus 3.
15 for me.
15 for you. Okay. Yeah, between the two of you, you're able to pass the first hurdle. The rocks are on the larger side, but they're not overly big. They're not anything that's really too much for either of you two to handle. And you kind of both grab one side of it and almost do the thing where you like shove it towards each other and then stand up and lift it sideways and carefully carry it out. Passing through without any real issue. Another 5 minutes or so goes by. Eventually you come to what looks like it's probably the central rock that has potentially fallen or been placed to really blockade this. This, between the two of you, I'll go ahead and get you to make one more strength check for me.
Remember to lift with your knees, not your back.
We make a good team there, metal boy.
Hold on,
Yeah,
Margot.
training.
I at this point want to look over at Phelan and be like, do you think maybe you might be of assistance in this one as well? It's quite a big boulder.
I can. Do you all need help? I was just
I
kinda...
got a 19, by the way.
I got a 94, but if I turn it upside down, it becomes a 19.
So, Phelan, you try to find your way in there to like get your hands in underneath, but you actually realize because of how tight the tunnel is, 2 people is kind of the limit on that. You will say you add the extra 5 pounds that your mage hand can do to kind of like slide it underneath and lift it up a little bit. But the DC for this was 18, so you guys still succeeded with that one without needing to use Les's ability. As you kind of find the grooves on the rock and you find a couple of nice little grooves that seem to have cracked in the side of it, and you really are able to get your fingers into there and lift with your knees and shuffle slowly out of there and move this rock. And as you do, a couple of rocks tend to tumble down towards you, and you notice now you've created kind of a small hole about 3.5, 4 feet that's from the roof down, and you've just got a couple of ones that are pretty easy to maneuver out of there without any real issue. Taking maybe 2 or 3 more minutes, better part of 15 minutes, and you guys have essentially cleared the passage. So, you can go ahead and take a look at Rolled a 20.
Didn't even use my force powers.
And,
How many hellhounds is that?
and if you're looking at Rolled 20, ready? Boom.
Yeah.
The path is clear.
Snap! Yo, that's wild.
So, as the path becomes clear, I'm going to go ahead and start to reveal this. Give me 1 sec.
God. It's a mega hellhound.
Mecha
Is that the
hellhound.
Grim Reaper?
Okay.
Oh no.
This is where we all get TPK'd, and the real adventure is in Avernus, and we just.
You don't say TPK. You don't say that word.
I just want to live out my
Never say TPK around TP Corso. That's what he
I
wants.
want to live my Mad Max life, okay? I want to ride hell rides in the
If
dirt.
you say TPK around Corso, he gets ideas. We can't do that.
Can't give him ideas.
It's in his
They
name
can
now.
blame me. They can blame me when Critical Bard goes to heaven in the first session.
In the
I mean,
first session.
technically-
Oh,
They
he can
already
blame.
did in
He can
session
blame me.
So,
Mhm.
Oh, really?
Rip.
rip.
I
All
am
right, so clear passageway, my dudes.
Clear passageway. So,
Okay.
where are we here?
Let's try
Okay.
and be quiet
As the last
we
of the rocks topple back towards you, you peer through darkness into another unlit room. A little bit of torchlight coming through from the torches that you have lit on your side. Looking through directly ahead, you see 3 piles of crates and boxes of differing sizes, shapes, and colors on the opposite side, with the rest of the room continuing off to the right.
Nebula's going to look over at Phelan once they see the final rock pulled out of the way, and they're going to tap Phelan on the shoulder, and they're quietly just going to tap their fingers forward.
Okay?
All right. And I'm gonna.
Then they're going to charge up an Eldritch Blast kind of in palm.
Yeah.
Okay. So making
And
an
I'm
Eldritch
gonna
Blast.
go ahead and try and sneak up through the hole to see
Okay.
if I can make it around the corner and see what's up.
Easily enough, so go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Let's go. Come on, baby. This time roll me well. Oh, so close to a nat 20. But that is a 22.
22, okay. So very carefully, slowly moving your way up a little bit. You get close to where the rubble has kind of fallen down, and it's somewhere where you have to kind of squeeze your way through, but everything is fairly stable enough, and you are able to kind of peek around the corner. So, climbing through the last of the rubble, you notice a few bats flying around the room, squeaking and fluttering up to nestle in the ceiling, seemingly disturbed by your presence, ceiling about 10 feet overhead. To your right, you see 2 long tables standing about hip height with a gap in the walls that seems to lead further onward. Deep grooves are carved into the wood with long knives set neatly to one side, while the worktops have large red stains dried onto them. And I'm going to reveal that for you in a sec.
Cool. I'm going to whisper back to the rest of the group. Now to think about this, what if this leads somewhere important in town and we are now trespassing
it's information that we should glean either way, I think.
Is trespassing really going to be the worst of the things that we've committed?
We're just
For us,
promoting
no,
our-
but however, optics is to this town. We are new people. We came in. We somehow found these tunnels, and there is no hint of these hellhounds that we've defeated, and we end up.
I just lost all audio. Hang on.
Oh,
Oh, okay,
We-
we're back.
What? What's going on there?
I have no
The
idea.
audio gods said no.
Sorry, that was really weird. I just lost all audio for a sec. Sorry about that. Yeah, the audience did. So Phelan, I got everything right up and after to the point where you were like, we're newcomers to the city, and so sorry. What the hell is going on? Oh. Okay. I hope not. Give me 1 sec. 1 sec.
That was me.
headlamp!
Okay.
Giant light circle.
Headlamp, flashlight.
Giant light circle.
I had something for like half a second. I
Okay.
don't know what it is that you're doing.
No, we got our audio's back.
Yeah, no,
It
we're
is?
good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we're
Hello,
back. I can see
Guardian.
the audio.
Hello, viewers. I'm still in my brain. Sorry.
Yeah, they
Hello?
came back to giant light circle. Same
Oh,
as
my bad. Giant light circle.
Don't explain it. Don't explain it. Keep it a secret. They won't
Dude,
get
Yeah,
this
that's the
discussion-
Phalai, the giant light circle.
Suddenly,
Giant light
You got
suddenly
one.
headlamp. Thank
Okay,
you.
so
Okay, so sorry. Yeah, we're newcomers to the city. We don't want to ruffle any feathers.
We don't want to be. We want to be spicy careful.
So-
Spicy careful.
because Nebula
Like I
can
said.
transform into anyone he's seen,
Correct.
and that specifically is like the wording of it. I'm trying to make sure I can do this, but if you need me to do anything for it, let me know. And you must adopt from a similar. Yep. So, I would like to transform into the tavern owner who served us our drinks.
Okay.
Someone from the
You can
town,
transform
but
your
is not the
appearance or revert
Fowler.
to your natural form. You can't duplicate the creature you've never seen. You're very not. You see weight, height, facial features, sound of your voice.
But I spent a
ruse
few
is-
hours drinking.
If you rouse suspicion, you have advantage on any deception checks you make to avoid deception. Yeah.
Cool. So my clothing doesn't change or anything. I'm still in like armor and or my leather armor and have my weapons. But I, based on his critique of us being trespassers, Nebula will turn into someone from the town.
Okay. Yeah. Easy enough to do. Kind of generic looking halfling, so you do definitely shrink a little bit in size down to the size of the halfling who was running the bar, but no real issues per se. Your leathers, will say that because they're pseudo magical, they shrink with you as well, so it's not like you're suddenly within massive piece of armor that'll give you disadvantage on anything. I don't like doing that kind of crap. But yeah, you're essentially now, you very accurately depict yourself as the tavern keeper that was helping serve drinks the previous night.
You were going to ruin this man's life. You were going to destroy his reputation as a bar owner. He'll be a trespasser on these lands.
Hey,
Identity theft is not a joke.
Identity theft isn't a joke.
I still
Jim.
think that the high-vis vest and clipboard will go better, but let's roll with this one.
And so Nebula says, I can step ahead of us. If anyone gets seen, it can be me first, but be prepared for any... I guess we'll adopt a new voice. Be prepared for any issues that transcend with that. So... is there anything in here? What's in those crates? Because I guess I would come forward then with the torch in hand.
Yeah.
Let's suss this out.
Easy enough. So you guys start to make your way.
I'll
Yeah,
start
can-
checking this stuff.
Can we roll investigations?
Yeah, absolutely. So whoever wants to take a look at the crates, go ahead and roll an investigation check for me.
Do we want to take a crate pile each?
Yeah.
I'm going to look over at the far right one.
Okay, I'll look at the top left one.
Middle?
Oh, look at what.
Okay,
Whatever's
well,
left.
that's not great. What's my investigation
That's
modifier?
an
I'm betting.
18 for me.
18? Okay.
Margot wants to look at the one that's
God damn.
closest to is the furthest away from the rebel.
Okay. All right. So Les, are you looking at the tables or the crates?
I'm going to look at the tables.
Okay, taking a look at the tables. Okay, so
I thought that was a crate.
no, it's all good. Yeah, the tables are the ones with the big red splotches on them. I wonder what those could be. So for those of you taking a look at the crates,
Kool-Aid.
we'll say Phelan, with your 18 and kind of naturally wanting to get a good look at everything, you do notice that the crates are not locked. They don't appear to be trapped, as best you can tell, either, and they're essentially just a series of different sizes. You notice as you're kind of looking through a little, some of them almost look like suitcases, and a couple of different sizes of crates and chests and things. And as you're opening them up and taking a look around, you start to flip through them. And flipping through them, you see that there are clothes. Torn and ragged ones, some of farmers, others of nicer kit. Making your way through even further, you see shoes, you see handkerchiefs, you see pants, belts. Some of it definitely not in the best condition. There look to be some long gashes, a couple of what are probably bloodstains on them. And as you're diving further down, some of the larger ones, you're getting to more than just clothes. You notice that one of them has a breastplate. Very nice piece of armor, no seeming issues on it, but it's stamped with the sigil of the Crown's Guard. You've seen a couple of Crown's Guard soldiers and Crown's Guard guards throughout the city that are wearing these items. Two standard long swords a little bit further down, kind of tossed into the bottom of one of the very large crates. And you do notice as well that there is one item that kind of stands out a little bit weird. It's just a box, deck of cards of some kind.
I'll turn around to the rest of the crew, and we've heard of missing Crown's Guard, correct? I think this might be where they ended up, or at least where their armor is. I mean, I'll pick up the deck of cards and point out to everybody. I don't know what they would be wanting to do with playing cards in the middle of the night.
Nebula would like to make some sort of check in regards
You put that
to
fucking
that.
thing down right now.
Nebula would like to make some
Take that shit away from me. So,
Nebula would like to try and see what those are.
That's
Okay.
some bad juju.
Sure, go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
Excellent.
I don't know if this counts, but I got a 17 on my investigation check.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing for all of you. You're like looking through and you don't really notice too much. We'll say that kind of digging through some of the pockets and, fluffing things out, you hear a couple little bits of jingle in the pockets. You pull out 17 copper pieces and a single silver, and that's it. But Nebula on an Arcana.
I got a 13 on the Arcana.
13 on the Arcana. You're not sure. The deck itself doesn't look very arcanist. It doesn't look very magical in any way. You kind of open it up and you just take a little bit of a peek, and you see that it looks like a pretty standard deck of playing cards from what you can see, but you could take it out and get a better look if you'd like.
Nebula doesn't have a reason personally to worry, but Nebula always inspects any out-of-place items.
I would cast Detect Magic, but I literally just have one spell slot left right now.
And
But
I
both,
think that's
but
where I'm
both
at
of
too.
you, sorry, but both of you were in the tavern earlier when we were, trying to get some information from those Dragonborn and stuff. Wasn't one of them
Yeah.
cards?
Does this look like any of the cards that we've seen?
I mean, you can pull out the deck and take a look at it if you want.
Nebula's gonna ask for the deck of cards from Phelan.
Here you go.
Nebula would ask for the deck of cards
I
from
will
Phelan.
say, if it ends up being just a deck of cards, can I keep it?
You get everything.
Certainly. And
We're gonna get that 13-minute slot.
Nebula, just being cautious, is going to walk over to the tables that are there, and he's going to pop the lid.
Okay. You pop
and
the lid
he's
off.
going to, and he's going to dump them out onto the table.
Okay. So you pop the lid and you kind of let them start to float. You notice that the box is probably about half empty. It doesn't look like it's full. And you kind of scatter them onto the table, kind of keeping them in a semi-neat pile a little bit. The backs of the cards look very similar. Phelan, you recognize those almost immediately. They're probably of a different make, maybe from a different city or made in a different year, but they would look not out of place at all at any gambling table. The fronts of the cards, on the other hand, are entirely different. In comparison to a traditional set, normally you would have numbers of some kind or symbols to indicate suits and numbering so that you know exactly what cards are being dealt out. With these ones instead, you see that there is an intricate set of parchment cards. Taking them out, getting a better look, they have the same backing as what you'd expect, but the fronts have depictions of creatures and monsters from around the world. Flipping through, you see a few images of different giants, a few kobolds, goblins, some humanoids with staves or swords and shields, as well as one of a creature labeled Beholder, and another labeled Medusa.
Beholder, you say?
And they're
now
very
actually getting a look
intricate
at them.
descriptions.
Does that strike anything in? Because Nebula now dumped these out to inspect them and being able to see this. Does that strike anything in Nebula?
On a 13 Arcana check, no. They look like very high quality cards. The backing of them would fit at a very nice gambling table. Phelan, I mean, you can definitely appreciate these are nicer than a lot of cards you've played with before, but the fronts would make them completely useless in an actual game because every single card is different. There are no duplicates.
May Jules roll an Arcana check
You
as well?
certainly may.
Julestifer!
That is a 14 plus 6. A 14 plus.
Excuse
20?
me?
That's a dirty
20.
20.
Blessed
That
Jill.
It was
is
like, this was made in 2015.
That's the DC,
Like,
I bet.
one house.
that
That's
is
a DC.
that is the exact DC as in my notes. On a
Boom.
DC 20 Arcana check.
I may
Deck-
not be able to think now due to low blood sugar, but Jules can.
So,
You got a Capri Sun,
you
and
got
I
a
know
Capri
exactly
Sun,
what
you'll be
that
back
is.
in 5 seconds. So, the deck can be identified using either the Identify spell, a DC 20 Arcana check, or by drawing and throwing a single card at random. The deck is a deck of illusions with 17 cards in it.
Yeah, baby.
Now, Jules, will say, given the background and especially illusions are something that you are very well versed in. This is something that you might not have seen this exact item before, but you've seen the runes that are inscribed on each card. And you know that the way this works, given the depictions of that, is that essentially the card has a depiction of a creature, and in some manner, that creature would have an illusory version of itself be summoned, created, on or near the card. You're not 100% sure exactly how it works, but with Nebula having dumped out the cards onto the table, you guys picked them up and looked at them, you would imagine that it would probably be something involved where you would either have to throw a card, a singular card, and it would cause that creature to appear, or maybe a spoken word of some kind, a trigger word. You're not entirely sure what that would be, but you do know that there would be something that would allow you to cause an illusion of whatever creature is on the card to be summoned.
Yeah, Jules is going to say that out loud as she picks them up and thumbs through them, specifically looking to see if there's a Rakshasa card.
Okay. Thumbing through them, none of them appear to be of a Rakshasa.
But the deck isn't full.
Correct.
Is this a thing where you use a card and then it's spent?
Correct.
Okay.
See,
I'm gonna say out loud after I thumb through and say, and you must spend each card in order to summon one of these illusions. And notably, a Rakshasa is not located within this deck.
Super rare card.
Yeah,
Very
collector's
hard to find.
edition.
Now, one thing that you do notice as you're thumbing through, and especially specifically looking for a Rakshasa, is that at the front of the deck, not organized in any real way, but as you're thumbing through, of the 17 cards that are in there, 15 of them have recognizable descriptions with a singular word or multiple words of what the creatures are. And I'll send that to you separately, so I'm not to list them all out here. But the most interesting of them is definitely Beholder and Medusa. However, at the back of the deck, there are 2 cards that just have kind of a generic, what's it called, Vitruvian Man image, just kind of generic humanoid, and on the bottom say Joker.
I got shivers.
Hearing this explanation is definitely going to trigger Nebula's response of,
Divine sense, bitch.
if you don't mind, and he'll kind of go to scoop up the cards on the table.
Jules has them in her hand.
Oh, they're in your hand? You're not shuffling on the table? Right, okay. Yeah. If you don't mind, I'd like to keep some of those nearby.
I would as well.
Then, shall we draw?
Split the deck 50-50?
Are we about to watch a fucking duel?
You've activated my trap card.
Oh shit, Jules is gonna send that to the Shadow Realm.
Kevin just rips out his dual disc. It's time.
And you said there are
I play my commander.
Draw your last pathetic edge.
Hold on. What's a pot of greed?
you said
Hey, if I wanted to, I could just force pull that whole deck to me and be like, what's this? These are nice. These are nice cards, aren't they? Mine now.
So,
Obelisk the Tormentor. That's cool.
Nebula
So we
Jules.
said there are 17, right?
Correct. There are 17. There are 2 jokers, and then 15 assorted creatures of different types. Goblins, humanoids, some that look like knights on steeds with like some people in the background.
Is there an
others of, like, a
Exodia
druid.
asking for a friend?
There is not.
Yes, let's...
Arm, leg,
Split.
arm. Oh, Jesus.
Randomly, or do we want to pick?
I don't mind either way, but it seems there are 2 of those. 1 each, I'd say.
It only
So
seems
one
like
to
a
each of us.
Joker. It only seems like a Joker should go to a Joker.
Yeah, Jules will take out the 2 jokers, handing one to Nebula and one to herself, and then we'll shuffle the deck and split it 50-50 and giving him the like extra card.
Okay. So you'll end up having essentially 2 halves of a half deck of cards. So I'll go ahead and send you something in Discord, and you guys are now the proud owners of a half full deck of illusions.
There goes the
Oh,
audio
God.
again.
Yep.
No, it's okay. You should be able to hear me.
Okay.
No, the Bing Bong.
Yeah, the Bing Bong.
The ding-a-ling.
Yeah, that's what happened when the audio went out last time. So
Yeah,
We
and
heard- we
I
heard-
tried changing something last time to make it so it
Lance,
didn't
did you
ding
make
dong,
yourself
and then I
laugh
fucked it
because you
up.
said dingling?
You didn't think we'd catch it, but we caught it.
So, we'll say in splitting the deck, and we'll say between the two of you, kind of figuring it all out and talking at it and looking at the runes, I'll say that you're able to figure this out. This is not an overly complex magical item in that respect. Essentially, the way that it works is you would try taking a card, tossing it onto the ground by looking at it, and you would know that that does not work. You would have to take one at random. The deck has to be shuffled, and you just have to draw a card and throw it. And whatever card is thrown, there is an illusion of that creature that appears, and it would act in the way that that creature would normally act, but it is fully illusionary.
I
Got it.
so can't wait for the illusionary card battle to happen. This is just fantastic. We're gonna have a Yu-Gi-Oh spot in our campaign. I'm so excited.
Yeah, Nebula's gonna take since he was given the one extra card, he's going to take the 17 cut in half, so he has 9 cards.
Correct.
Is going to take 7 of those and like put them in a pouch in his
sorry.
bag of holding.
It's okay. I'm going to fix it.
So he's going to take 7 of those and put them in a pouch of his bag of holding.
Yep.
And he's going to grab the Joker and one other card at random and place them just inside of his like leather vest, like kind of slip it in a pocket in there.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, Jules will slip hers into like the inside of a coat pocket to where she'll be able to reach in and draw it at a quick moment if need be.
At a moment's notice. Got it. Oh, God saint. Just noticed the Yu-Gi-Oh card backing. Chat going crazy with the pink-eyed dragon, the brown-eyed girl.
I've got a lot of shit within arm's reach, Gordy. I'm always prepared.
Literally,
He's
you
just
triggered
waiting-
my trap
He's
card.
just waiting for Seto Kaiba to roll through. He's waiting for his moment.
Oh, man.
Draw your
While
last
they're
effect
checking the
card.
doors, or while they're checking the cards, I'm gonna move over just to keep an eye over at the entrance and just like make sure that nobody's coming in or anything along those lines. So I'm just gonna head on over down here and just peek around the corner to make sure that all is clear and we're not about to get murdered.
Sounds good. So what I'll do there in that respect, actually, because you had been kind of taking a look at the tables, is before you do that, I'm going to let you just take a look at the tables, and I'll make a description for that for you.
Oh, perfect.
I was looking at the tables first at this end here.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you were. I apologize. I got you two reversed. So, Les, this will actually be for you. So, as everybody else is kind of opening up those boxes, taking a look at what's inside, you hear the little bit of kerfuffle over the deck of cards. The one thing that you do notice is the excuse me, the tables are chipped. You notice that they have big gashes taken out of them. Some of the slices in the wood are quite deep, almost creating grooves where things have pooled in a little bit. And kind of looking at the side, and especially because I assume you still have your carpentry background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, getting a decent look at this. The tables themselves are pretty basic make, right? They're not anything special. They're not ornamental in any way. They're work tables. They're workbenches. Very much used for cutting things. And looking at the grooves and specifically paying attention to the colored spots that are on the table and the pools of what's there, it does look like this is a carving table of sorts. Now, looking around and kind of seeing there are a little bit of chips of white and cracked kind of off-white coloring around the table, and getting a better look looking down the back side of it, you do notice that there are a series of chipped and cracked bones.
Ew.
Bones?
Correct.
I mean, people have gone missing. The crates are full of clothes.
Roll me them
I
bones.
think we're in the right spot.
I have a question. This is a lower question for Jordy from my background.
Yes?
Having kind of been involved in a sacrificial demon plot
Yeah.
once before, would I have retained any information to have those same bells go up when I start making these connections to the hounds and the bodies?
It is a part of your background. I'm going to get you to roll a medicine check for me.
Okay.
Will the bones speak to me?
Roll them bones.
Roll
A
him.
torch of destiny. Damn. 9.
9. Okay. You don't notice much. We'll say that the major difference is that from what you had seen before, the bones were intact. These are cracked and chipped. And getting a better look at them, and you actually, with just who you are less, you do notice that it appears to be the marrow of these bones is missing. And they are cracked at odd angles.
This is fucking disgusting.
And it is definitively blood on the tables. You're not sure of what the creatures are. You don't know how old they are. You don't know where they're from or anything like that, but you see what is in front of you and what is not.
When I see that, I just kind of shout out, does anyone know if Rakshasas like bone marrow?
Can we roll nature, I guess?
It is not a natural creature. None of you are really sure on
shit.
this.
I'm gonna roll for how well I shrug to communicate that I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
Charisma.
Galahad, what is marrow?
Let me ask this for, I think it was Red who got this. Only one of us were able to piece together the Rakshasa. Could
I was
that
gonna say,
singular person make any
I
check?
want to see if I can remember
Okay.
anything
You want to see if you can remember?
said diet.
Okay. Go and make a history or religion check for me.
Oof. Well, I'm gonna do history because that's +3.
Okay.
Oh shit! 18 + 3, 21.
21. Okay. Rakshasas, in essence, are demons. Demons need sustenance. They are not entities that can survive solely off of their own flesh. It would make sense that they ate marrow of differing creatures. You had also heard that a couple of people had been taken and a couple of animals had been taken. So eating the flesh or marrow of animals, definitely not unheard of. People do that all the time. You've done that.
Okay.
It was like I had it at a Michelin restaurant. It was pretty tasty. I'm not gonna lie.
Upon hearing that information, I just want to reply, well, we just gotta hope that the authorities are experts on how Rakshasas eat and we'll be good to go.
Bone marrow is pretty tasty, but this is kind of cursed, so let's
My worry that this is human bone marrow.
So for you being over there failing next, you were the one who was kind of taking a look around. I'll get you to make a medicine check as well.
I've eaten
Medi
bone
baby.
marrow before. Can I see if it was something human?
Sure, I'll allow you to do that too.
Have
What?
you eaten human bone marrow before?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
14.
Hold on. So
Okay.
you need me to roll what?
Medicine check.
El medicine.
That's a 9.
A 9. Okay. You're not sure, but you didn't really pay much attention to the bone itself last time. You just ate the marrow. We'll put it that way. Phelan, you get a little bit more out of this, given your background. You would notice that most of these do appear to be animal bones. They are far too large to be bones that are from any humanoids, especially for the vast majority of individuals that you've seen in the city. There are a few pieces that are possibly humanoid.
Mine just weren't well seasoned. I forgot. They're pretty bland.
Burnt to a crisp.
Nothing's off the table, everyone. I guess metaphorically and physically, but also these could. Some of those are animals for sure, but some of those could be more. And yeah, so I guess maybe we aren't just trespassing. Maybe we found the home of who we've been looking for.
At least we like to cut up people.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Maybe they just fed it to the hellhounds, now that I think about it. That is also a possibility. There was hounds, they need fed. Yes, Les.
I was just going to ask Jordy if I can take a look on the ground to see if there's any tracks coming in and out of this place that might resemble like a Rakshasa or anything of that ilk, because they have like tiger feet, don't they? Or do they wear shoes?
So you can go ahead and make a survival check for me.
Yeah,
Try
I
to
think
see
we
if
got to
there are any
remember that
cracks.
Red is the only one who knew anything about Rakshasas as a character.
Correct. So this is more so just to notice
in
tracks.
explaining how she knew it was bone marrow from the Rakshasa, that was her role, right? that she retained that information about Rakshasas. I assume she was telling us like what
Oh,
Rakshasas
yeah.
are. And stuff. You know what I mean? Like in giving us that piece of information, be like, I know a bit about Rakshasas. They can be bone marrow. They're like this, like that. I'm just going off of that.
Gotcha.
If that was said.
Haley,
I
did you
would've
want to
just-
share anything?
I would have just confirmed that it would not have been out of the ordinary for bones to be a diet of a Rakshasa.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, I'll just look for like any tracks
look
that
for
might
tracks.
look
Sure.
odd.
Can
Yeah.
I used like my perception to smell blood before in the tunnels. Can I see if it leads down the other path, the one that Phelan's looking through?
Sure. Go and make a perception check. So less
I got 10.
survival. Okay. The floors here are much more well kept. They are hard packed earth. Even you guys moving around with all of the weight, and even Galahad is leaving very minor foot impressions. The vast majority of creatures, especially something that overall would be light on its feet, as a cat would be, as a tiger or Rakshasa would be, there are no real tracks of any kind.
Okay.
Margot, as for blood, there is a substantial smell of blood. It is primarily in this room. There isn't really anything that's coming as a stronger smell from outside of it. You would have to kind of make your way out further and see if you were able to pick up another scent. Sorry, what was your perception roll? I apologize.
So at this point, Margot's going to kind of not exactly walk in front of Phelan, because at this point, walking in front of Phelan without being able to see into the dark seems like a horrible idea to me. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go behind Phelan and see if I can't like peek around and smell. And I only got 12. I got a 12.
Yeah, okay. So
Peek around and find out.
yeah, so we'll say that you kind of make your way over towards Phelan is, kind of peek around that corner a little bit, and you guys are carrying torches, right? Like it's not like you're in the dark here. You are able to see a little bit. And peeking around the corner, I'll reveal a little bit more of the map for you.
We are about to see straight into hell.
You notice
Ow.
that there seems to be some kind of a blockade further ahead, but this one, in comparison to what you had seen before, is a door, and it is currently closed.
A door.
But as
For
you,
some reason, when you revealed that map, I thought Margot was gonna like hit that dirt wall. I was like, and you bet. Oh, damn it.
however, as you do that, Margot, you and Phelan kind of looking around outside. You guys have been in the room for a little bit of time here, and you've noticed those bats that are fluttering around. Two of them come down, and Margot and Phelan. What are your ACs?
No!
14?
Okay,
16!
14 and 16. So Margot against you.
The door is a mimic.
You're
That
getting got by
is
bats, my guys.
A 13, and against Phelan, that is a 7. As two of the bats kind of fly down and just land on your shoulder and try to bite into you a little bit. But don't seem to break any skin contact, and you just kind of shuffle them off a little bit.
Can I just grab it and pop its head?
Well, you could try to make an attack against it if you'd like.
I just want to...
Would this be a grapple, technically?
Yeah, like, do you just want to grab it and hold it in place, or do you actually want to damage it?
I want to squish it.
Okay. So yeah, so go ahead and make an attack roll.
Let's see here.
Keep that in
I
mind.
wanna pop that bat head.
That is a no. That's a big no. It's not a 1. It's a 2.
Okay.
That's
So
just
you-
a flat 2.
All right, so you kind of like seeing this bat come down and like clearly try to make a bite, but like impact against your scales and not be able to quite get through. You just reach up and like go to grab it, and it just kind of very quickly evades your grasp and flies back up to the ceiling. As the other 4 of you, bats all seem to come down off of the ceiling, and one is going to make a strike against each of you. So this is going to be less.
Good fucking luck.
That's an 11 for less.
Nope.
Against Nebula, that is a 16.
No, 18.
No? All right. Against Galahad,
These bats are puny.
that's a 9.
Yeah.
Against
These are
Jules,
puny bats. They are just night rats. They are puny.
Against Jules, that's a 16.
That just barely hits.
That hits.
no!
Okay. So, as the bat flies down, bites
Imagine
into
Jules is
you.
so busy like shuffling through the cards that Jules
Just-
doesn't notice.
Wait.
Yeah,
I
pretty much.
may have a thing for this. Hold on.
No. Give me vampirism. That'll be dope.
I mean, yeah, you're
That chuckle, Jordy. That chuckle was a little too maniacal.
I want my Twilight fantasies to live out in the Phalanx. I will just let this happen.
So you feel, you like kind of notice that the bats are flying down, and you don't really notice, and your head is kind of craned off to the side, looking at them kind of swarming down and trying to make bites at some of the some of your allies that are in the same room as you. As one kind of latches on and just kind of impacts against your neck. You do take you take 5 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
You're gonna get rabies.
You wanted this.
I did want this. 5 points and a con save.
Correct.
All right, I'll mark them.
Me,
Can I
Scoozy.
fail the save intention?
That is a 3 plus 2, a 5.
It's a 5. Okay. You take an additional 5 points of poison damage, and you are considered poisoned.
Shit.
And I need all of you to roll initiative.
We're fighting the night rats.
So we're gonna go ahead and swap over.
Oh
to...
God.
Dice was annoying.
At least it's not a bottleneck situation, but we're fighting literal flying rodents, so that's fine.
Bats are cool.
I've got a giant bat as a mount in one of my campaigns.
All right. So
Now, I'm a paladin.
I'm a dragon. I'm my own mount.
I'm my own mount.
I have no bonus to initiative.
Bats.
All right.
As a reminder, we did take a short rest, so if anybody didn't
Correct.
do their
Okay. So yeah, it's not that bad. Beat you for 10 damage, and you're poisoned. Okay, so initiatives 25 to 20. What the? I literally didn't do anything. Yeah, no, you should be able to hear me. Because okay, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, OBS is being super weird, Ivy. You're right. I'm just gonna. Oh wait, I know what the issue is. It's because we changed to Moby. You can get stoned by Obi. 26-year-old boy, fat.
Jordy knows that whole song by heart, by the way.
Oh, so do I. Don't you worry.
So nobody listens to techno, and let's go. Anyway, okay, so now we're back. Sorry, it's because I changed scenes. I forgot that I had to update the audio. Sorry, guys, on chat.
Cool.
You didn't miss much. Anyway, so initiatives 25 to 20.
No.
Okay. The creatures.
We'll be here a while.
Okay. 2015.
I got a 16.
18.
Okay. 18 for Jules, 16 for Nebula.
Yo.
15 to 10.
Wow.
I got 12.
12 for Margot.
I got 12 as well.
12 is Margot and Les. Okay. 10 to 5.
That's a 5.
That's a big old 5. All right.
Wait, which one of us is going first, Jordy? Between me and Margot, because we both have
Who's
12.
got the higher dex?
No, you guys get to choose.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, that's the rules as written. You when it comes around, if it's you and enemies, whatever it is, you get to choose who goes first in each round of combat.
I'm
How
definitely.
about we decide who? How about we decide who gets to go first when we actually get to decide where see where the enemies are?
They're going to be all on top of us. Little tiny bat things.
2. Okay, and Galahad, what was your initiative? 4. All right, Galahad is on a 4. So
Oh
I'm a
no!
big slow boy.
let's get some music going up in here.
Up in here.
Now this looks like a job for me.
Everybody, just follow me. So
Because we need a little
controversy,
controversy.
because it feels so empty without me.
Holy Jesus.
Is that loud?
Boss music.
There we go.
With bats.
With bats. So, okay. So as the bats fly down and kind of all instinctively try to make a bite against you, you notice that there seem to be 6 to 10 of them up there. You're not entirely sure. Looking up, getting a bit of a look around. Top of the round is going to be group 1 of the bats as 4 of them fly down.
Do they have tokens on Roll20?
Not immediately.
Just
They're
you
too
wait,
far.
you
They're
cheeky
too
devil.
high.
Yeah.
They're
So-
in 2 surprise rounds?
Nope. They just are moving first. They rolled a 23 on their initiative.
Ah!
In
Fast
true
pass.
420 fashion, they're
So-
too high right now.
This is going to be one attack each against Les. Oh, sorry. This is group 1. So this is going to be against, Les, Margot, and Phelan. And then a second attack is going to be against Margot. So Margot, you're going to take 2. Les and Phelan, you each get 1 attack against you. So Margot, that is a natural 20 and a 14.
That ties with me, yeah.
Okay, so that's oh shit. Okay.
Don't you oh shit me!
Okay. So first attack.
Backcountry.
First attack. That is 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Actually,
What's up?
yeah, no. I was gonna try and... Is it too late to use a reaction against that by chance?
What's the reaction?
So I would like to use the feat that we talked about. So I would, as the bats are coming down, I'd like to turn my back over to Margot, and as I do, I'm going to yell a bit as the bats swipe down and say, "Margot, watch out!" And spectral protective wings are going to come out of my back. Metallic dragon-like wings, and since you are within 5 feet of me, I can use my reaction and give you a D4 to your AC and see if that helps.
Yeah, so the first one, the natural
think
20 is
your
going to hit regardless, but the second one, you could give Margot a D4. So,
What is that?
What the fuck?
Yes.
So-
What is that?
Phelan, do your thing.
With the AC, that'll be a 4. So your AC is bumped up by 4 for this.
So the second attack, as a result, does miss as Phelan kind of reaches back and seeing the bats swarming down, 2 of them coming onto Margot, one of them badly impacting Margot, falling off to the side and just ripping this bat off of her neck. The second one, you instinctively, whoosh, metallic dragon wings fly out of your back and impact against the bat, knocking it off to the side mid-air as it kind of spirals off and then eventually floats back up towards the ceiling. So,
And the wings
God
come
damn, that's fucking cool.
so Margot, you do take 7 points for the piercing damage on the first attack because it's a crit, so it doubled.
Okay.
And I need you to make a con save.
Okay.
You got this. Don't get poisoned, please.
It's fine. Everything's fine. That is a 13.
13 is enough. So you feel the poison start to go in, but with the shock of Phelan, you ripping this out, you realize that it seemed to have something in its mouth, almost like a stinger, that tried to inject poison into you, but you were able to rip it off of your neck before that was able to actually get put in, and you throw the creature off to the side. You do notice that as you feel it, it feels like a bat, but like the fur is like moving under your hand a little bit. Something about this does not quite feel right. So that's the first attack against you. This is going to be 1 against Phelan now. That is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Can I use my reaction to shield him?
I believe shield is self.
Ah, dang it.
It is.
Yeah.
Dang
So,
it.
unfortunately, you're not able to do that. But Phelan, so 19 does hit.
Yes,
Okay.
it does.
So that's going to be 5 points of piercing damage to you, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 16 for my con.
16 is fine, so you just take the poison damage. It's the same thing. This one flying down, trying to latch on at the second where your wings spread out and knocked off the first one to try and catch you off guard. It does catch you, but you're able to rip it out before that stinger injects whatever it was. And the last one against Les. That's a natural 2. That's not going to do anything.
Hallelujah!
So those 4 first swarm of bats swipe down, fly down, and kind of try to impact and bite into you and inject you with whatever is inside there, the stinger that's in their mouth.
Fuck off!
Jules, we're going to come to you next, as you just have one that came down and bit you, and you're now feeling a little bit on the woozy side. So while poisoned, disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, just as a heads up.
Okay, yeah. Then, there goes my bag. Jules is gonna cast Armor of Agathist on herself.
Okay.
In order to keep her protected.
Sounds good.
And basically, she gets hit pretty hard and is just gonna like curl up into a ball on the ground, trying to stay away.
Alrighty. Perfect. So, curling up into a ball on the ground, staying away, casting Armor of Agathis on yourself. You are good to go there. Did you want to move anywhere?
I don't think that she's thinking of moving anywhere currently.
Okay, so just kind of looking around and like trying to get your bearings. At the end of your turn, I do need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Can
we still not see the bat tokens yet?
Nope, not yet.
18
18?
plus 2, a nat 20 or a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Dirty 20 is enough. So, like, you casting Armor of Agathis on yourself, you feel the cold kind of sink into your body, the additional armor on the outside, prepared to repel anything, and you just kind of blink really hard and just, and you're able to shrug off the poison. You are no longer considered poisoned.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Wonderful.
So, that's going to be that. Your turn is done. From there, we come to Nebula.
All right. Now, none of the bats are within range, right? Or they're not within 5-foot range. They're up.
So they are considered within 5 feet because they're essentially, you stand 5 feet and the ceiling is 10 feet, so you're able to swipe up at them. They're just considered above you, essentially.
Okay. And you said that are they swarm, as in like a unit is the swarm?
No,
or
they
is
are
it
individual
multiple?
bats.
Okay. Okay, well then, Nebula is going to work on moving first, and they're still above, right? They're
Correct. Yeah, there's essentially what
no
happened
attack
is
of opportunities there.
no, it's because essentially they just stayed just within melee range with you.
All right, so Nebula is going to run up here.
Okay.
Towards the spot here. And then turn and Eldritch Blast up into the air.
Okay, so you've got the one that's kind of just beside Phelan there, so go ahead and make your Eldritch Blast against that one.
Yep, and I'm going to roll that in D&D Beyond there. That is a 21 to hit.
21 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right. Eldritch Blast is D10. Rolling a 7.
7, okay. So, as the Eldritch Blast impacts against this creature, you kind of, with a force damage, impacting it and throwing it up against the ceiling, and it just kind of impacting there and then falling down to the ground. It does appear to kill the creature, but as it does, as the bat takes the impact, it slams down onto the ground and you hear a faint hissing sound. Then the black fur and wings rapidly begin to almost melt into the body. 2 bone-like horns quickly grow out of the head. 2 arms with claws extend where the wings once were, and a long tail snakes out from its lower back. The face, back, arms, and legs shift from black to various shades of green until a very still, dead little creature lays on the ground below you. And as you do that, you hear the same hissing sound and from all of the other creatures in the room. And this is going to be where they get revealed.
Nebula, first off, can I check that my boy knows what this is?
You can make
Demon bats. What more do you need?
Yeah, you tell me what the roll is. I'll give it a shot. Even if he doesn't, I still know what he's going to say, but I would just like to know if he is aware of what.
Is this what a Rakshasa is? I still don't know what a Rakshasa is. Is this what a Rakshasa is?
I will allow you to make a history or... actually, no, this would just be straight intelligence.
All right, +1 either way.
I'm pretty sure this is baby Rakshasas.
Right, that's a 4, so your boy just doesn't recognize that.
You have no idea, but these things are not fucking bats. And now you notice all 7 of them around the room in different places.
And Nebula says, we need to go. So he's taken his movement, and as a bonus action, he is going to... Actually, you know what? He's going to hold on to that spell. So, yeah, that's all he does, is he says, we need to go. And he kind of points down that hallway.
Okay. So, after Nebula, we come to Margot and Les, who's going to act first.
Margot wants to go first.
Go for it.
Just don't hit me with a fireball again! And I just start smacking back.
At this point, I was protected by Phelan. Draconic Wings was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Phelan very incredulously, but obviously I don't have time to ask anything. So at this point, I'm just going to go, okay, my turn now, and I'm going to use my breath weapon and aim it at the ceiling.
Okay. So what is your breath weapon? Is it a line or is it a cone?
So I can only assume. So it's a 15-foot cone that originates from me.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that would probably hit all of them because I'm not sure like how far up the ceiling would be.
Yeah, so it would be 2 of them because you don't have one that you're picking and the other ones are behind it. It's essentially you're getting 2 of them in one area or 2 of them in a different area. So you can either pick the top 2 or the 2 that are beside you.
I'm just gonna pick the ones up top. I'm gonna pick the ones up top.
Right, so the ones up top. So what do they make a dex save against you, right?
Yeah, so they make the dexterity DC of 12, but they still take half damage on a fail save.
Okay.
Or on a successful save.
So it's DC 12 dex save?
Mm-hmm. So I rolled 6.
Okay. 6 points of damage total. So one of them succeeded with a 13. One of them did fail. So it's 6 points of damage, halved to 3. And you notice as the flame kind of licks up around these creatures, they seem to be affected by it, but not quite as much as you would hope. As both of them are still standing. So one of them taking 1 point of damage, and one of them taking 3.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because he... one succeeded on the save, so instead of 6, he takes 3, and then they're resistant to fire, so he takes 1 instead of 3.
Oh, you little batty bitches!
So
I hate this place, and I want to go home.
Yeah.
You are home.
you are home.
Your boy is telling you we gotta go.
Yeah, as soon as Nebula said that, I'm like, I'm not getting myself in this fucking shit again, and I'm like running. I'm not even fighting these fucking things.
Alrighty. So, damage, resistance, okay, we're good to go there. So that's Margot. So your action is done. You've got your bonus action and your movement, but you have 3 of them that have essentially descended to the point that they would get swipes at you if you tried to move now.
I can't move. At this point, I'm actually sticking with Phelan.
Alright,
So
stand beside
I'm
each
not
other.
going to move.
Good to know. Alright, we come to Les. You've got your full turn. What do you want to do?
Oh, fuck. Gonna cry for a minute after seeing that thing give birth to itself.
Crying is a free action, so.
Yeah. So these fuckers. Is this one above my head or in front of me?
It's in front of you. They're all kind of up in the air, so you're swiping upwards, but they are considered within 5 feet.
All right, and if I move away from this guy, he'll have an opportunity attack.
You would assume he's close enough to probably, quickly get down there and make a bite against you.
All right. I'm gonna take that chance. Can I hop over this table? Yeah, lethal weapon style, like the famous play that we know is all canon.
Exactly. So it's going to go and make an attack of opportunity against you.
I'm going to. Wait, I'm gonna see if you hit first.
That is an 18 to hit.
I am going to put up my telekinetic shield, and it can eat rocks.
So what happens with that?
It's a reaction. I got to roll a d6 to decrease what it hit me with.
To decrease the damage,
D6.
or
hold on.
I think it decreases damage.
Where did it go? I had it right here. Protective shield, dude. The damage taken.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the attack still hits. So the piercing damage from the bite, that is going to be 5 points of damage. So you can reduce that.
Oh no.
Oh no.
6.
All right. So you reduce the piercing damage down to 0. However, you do still take the poison. So go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
This is horseshit.
Good luck.
Constitution saving throw. That's just my favorite line in Stone
Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to make a ruling here that if you reduce the damage down to 0...
It's like it never bit
Yeah,
me.
it's like it never bit you. So yeah, no, that's fine. We'll say that the poison doesn't actually take hold.
-1.
Yeah. So I'll say that given this... Yeah, because it bites you, you reduce the piercing to 0.
Blood?
Yeah, sure. We're going to say no, that the poison doesn't actually go through, so you do not need to make a con save.
Fuck yeah.
So you were able to jump over.
With my force powers.
Yeah. So you were able to jump over there. You've used 10 feet of your
Sick.
movement to mantle that and hop over onto the other side, and your feet are kind of trampling a couple of bones.
Okay, gross. I'm going to bonus action with another psionic power recovery that lets me have another regain 1 expended psionic energy die slot. So I had used 4, but now I have 1 more left. A little extra one there to use.
Good to know.
So I'm gonna. Oh man, let's not will be broken. I'm gonna give a ruling just because this is a new class and I have never played these with this one before. So telekinetic movement. If I wanted to move a willing creature, like I don't know, one of my friends, out of this goddamn room, can it like bend around walls, or is it a sight thing? Like I can move
It's a
him once
sight
I lose
thing.
sight. Damn.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I still can move a little bit.
Yeah, you could move a little bit, but you don't know what is outside of the room. So you essentially, it would be like you're throwing them against a wall, and they're going, "Ah, fuck," and then they would no longer be considered willing.
I've saved your life. You can thank me later. So I still have movement.
Correct. So you've got 20 feet of movement left.
Am I able to move past Phelan here?
Yeah, you can move through allies' spaces. You just can't move through enemy spaces.
Okay. So I get to... If I can go into his space, can I move out to where Corso is diagonally, or do I have to go this way?
Yeah. No, same thing. You
So I
just
can
move from
bam.
one space to another.
Okay.
There
So
you go.
5.
There you go. However, the creature that you engage with there is going to make an opportunity attack against you.
Well, here's the thing. I wasn't sure if it was going to get an opportunity attack, but could I use my telekinetic movement to push it out of the way for me to be able to go past it so I don't get that?
No, you cannot telekinetically move a non-willing creature.
Oh, right. That's what we said. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so the second attack does hit. That's going to be a 20. Not natural. It's just a dirty 20. So you do take the poison damage from that one. That's going to be 6 points of 6 points of piercing damage. So you take that, and I need you to now make a Constitution saving throw.
Woohoo! This is pretty batty, you guys. It's pretty batty.
15.
15 is a success. You do not take the poison damage. So you just take that little bit of piercing as it just flies down and just nips at the back of your shoulders as you pass by it. So you've used now 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You got one more square of movement that you can go.
All right. I'm going to keep my sight. Actually, I know I'm going to be here. Just in case. Oh, no, it's my turn. I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm going to move down there.
Okay, sounds good. So you're fully getting out of the sight, and you look to your left, and you do
I'm
see
just
that...
telling everyone, as I run, I'm like, we got to get the fuck out of here. I've been in this situation before. It does not end well. Go, go, go.
Okay, so making your way down, you do see that there is a door that is there and is currently closed. So
Do I have enough movement to get there?
No, that's the end of your movement.
Okay.
Sorry, you've used a bonus action. You could action dash if you would like to get up to the door, but it is an action to try and open a door.
I will do that.
Okay, so you'll use the rest of your movement to get up adjacent to the door.
Yeah.
All right, so that's your full turn there, getting to that point. All right, with that, we come to the second group of these little batties. So with them focusing in on you three, Galahad, this is going to be 3 attacks against you. That is a 19.
It's
A 5. Or 6. And a 9. So only one of those is going to hit. First, the hit deals 5 points of piercing.
Yep.
And I need you to make a con save for me.
Alrighty. Constructed resilience gives me advantage on those saves.
I believe that.
That's a 22.
Yeah, more than enough. So you take the 5 points of piercing damage as it flies down and just kind of bites into the armor a little bit, and you feel a little bit of pain in your shoulder. But the other two are unable to pierce it. They're essentially just swatting claws against you at this point. Jules, there's going to be 1 attack against you.
All right.
That is a 21 to hit.
That does, in fact, hit.
Ooh, and it's max damage. Let's go. 7 points of piercing damage. And I need you to make another con save for me.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me double check.
Oh, yeah, armor back at this.
Gear. I have got 5 temp hit points. He's going to take 5 cold damage back.
Okay. Is resistant to cold.
Agathis is so sick. I love it.
He's resistant to cold? That's not fair.
So he takes 2 points.
Aww.
I don't like these bats.
I rolled a 19 plus 2, so a 21.
21 is more than enough. So you take the 7 points of piercing damage as it flies down and bites you, but getting used to that feeling of that poison and ripping it out really quickly, it is unable to inject, and you are not considered poison. You don't take the extra damage.
Yeah.
All right. So good to know. That is the second group of bats. Now as we get down to the bottom of our initiative order, we've got Phelan and Galahad on deck.
Ooh, bet. I am going to, seeing the bats surrounding Margot right now, I'm going to take out the new daggers, the shiny new daggers that I have, the Adamantium Daggers of Aeon, and I'm going to take the first one and throw it over at the one that she already hit.
Okay. Do you want to go for the one that she damaged more, or the one that she just barely hit?
The one that she barely hit.
Okay, sounds good.
Because with my first attack, I can do sneak attack. So if I do hit, hopefully that'll be there.
Sounds good. So that's going to be you going up against this one that's essentially directly beside you there.
Okay, then perfect.
Okay, so you just take out the dagger. You don't even need to throw it. You just thrust it up into the air. Go ahead and make your attack.
Oh, perfect. Then that will be... Oh, that's not bad. I thought that was a 1. It was a 7. Thank God. That'll be a...
14?
Hit. Yes.
And that's with the +1 bonus from the dagger?
Yes.
Perfect. Yep, 14 does hit, so go ahead and roll your damage with your sneak attack.
Yeah, baby! Okay.
Okay, this is Phelan as the main character episode. All right.
Alright, here we go.
So that is 7 plus 5.
Yeah, 12 points,
12 points.
more than enough. So this bat, as you kind of reach up, you just skewer it straight through as this creature starts just spilling green and black blood onto the dagger. And you pull it down and just throw it down onto the ground as it then just... and then falls.
Yeah. And perfect. With my bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and throw the dagger itself. Since it was already still in my hand, I'm going to throw it at the other one that she'd hurt more.
Sounds good. Go ahead and make the attack.
All right, cool. That'll be worse. That's a 12.
A 12 just barely misses.
Oh, dang. Okay.
So unfortunately, the second one kind of, you throw it up into the ceiling, and the creature is able to duck out of the way, impacts against one of the wooden beams, and then ting clatters to the ground just on the other side of where that creature is. All right.
Okay, perfect.
So that's your action. You've got your movement, action and bonus. You've got your movement left.
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna, since I can't really help from here, I'm gonna go ahead and move and do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I believe that is my... Oh, I can do one more. Yeah, I'm going to stick to here for right now, though.
All right. Just around the corner.
Actually, I'll go 30. Yeah, there we go.
Beautiful. Alrighty, so that's going to be your turn. And last up, we come to Galahad. 3 of them swarming you. What do you want to do?
Fucking smite these bitches!
Do it.
Embrace the power
Whichever
of
bat
smite.
was the one that actually managed to land a hit, Galahad's going to do a spin and slice it out of the sky.
All right, sounds good.
21 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll the damage.
That is +3 or +5? 11 slashing damage.
11 slashing damage. Is your weapon considered magical?
No.
Okay, so it hits for 5 points of slashing damage. As the one directly above you, this one right here on the map, that was the one that did manage to land the hit on you as you reach up and kind of do a cartwheel spinning slash as it impacts against it, and you clip the bottom half of its torso and blood starts spilling out, but it is still flying, just very badly injured. It looks like it's about to drop.
Interesting you say it's still flying, because I'm going to use my bonus action for the first part of the Shield Master feat, and with the end of that spin, I'm going to slam this bat into the fucking ground.
Yeah, you will. Go for it.
So this is a contested... No, this is a contested strength check.
Contested strength? Oh, yay. -3.
Well, it doesn't matter, because I nat 20.
Fuck you, bat!
I nat 1.
Fuck you, bat.
You did?
Not even kidding. That is a natural 1 right there.
Oh, yeah, this bat's on
This
the ground.
bat just got slammed out of
Bollocks all over the wall.
So,
That is just goo.
so what happens with that?
It's prone.
That's all it does, is it just knocks it prone?
I can't damage this thing again. Don't worry, this feat becomes really it comes online next level, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah,
All right.
guys.
Sounds good. So with
But for
that,
now it is on the ground prone.
the creature, we're going to put a net there to indicate that it is on the ground.
Bonk.
So as
You
you
can just step on it.
as you did your whirlwind, essentially grabbed the blade and pulled it up in the air. It impacted against the creature, and then it just started to lose a little bit of altitude. You reach your shield up, touch the ceiling, and then just scoop it and thunk, and put it down underneath the shield, where it is clearly dazed, laying on the ground, blood starting to pour out. It is looking real bad. All right, Galahad, that's your turn. Top of the initiative, we come back to the 2 that are still beside Margot. Margot, there's going to be 2 more attacks against you. That is a 18.
Yeah, that matches.
And a natural 18, so those are both going to hit.
Fucking.
Wait. Did you say top of the initiative?
Yeah.
Did we skip Jules?
No, Jules is second.
No.
I'm
Right,
second. The
Yeah,
bats are.
yeah, the bats rolled a natural
wild.
20 with +3 dex, so they're
Cool.
going real quick.
Yeah, the
Bats
bats
go
went ham
fast,
on their
yeah.
initiative.
So first hit, this is going to be a max damage. You take 7 points of piercing damage,
Okay.
and I need you to make a con save.
6.
6 is a failure.
Oh, guys, I can only do this once, and I want to save it, but
You take 2 points of poison damage.
Ah.
I rolled double ones on my d4s. But you are now considered poisoned as well. So all your attack rolls and ability checks are at disadvantage.
Get wrecked.
So that was the first hit. Second hit is another 6 points of piercing damage,
Mm-hmm.
and I need you to make another con save.
You are double poisoned.
5. If this is above a 14, I'm out.
2 more points of poison damage.
So
Wow,
that
on
was.
4d4, I rolled 4 1s for poison.
Ooh.
Wait, so
Thank
how much
God.
was the second one again?
The
2.
second one was 6, and then another 2, so it was a total of 8.
Okay.
But you are still considered poisoned.
Yep.
Alrighty, so that's going to be group 1 done. They're not going to move anywhere. Nebula, you're up.
Jules.
Sorry, Jules. Jules, you're up.
Okay. Seeing that all of my friends are across the room, I'm
If
gonna
Nebula's-
blast.
If
No,
Nebula's gonna do this one thing, he'd free call to Jules, seeing them prepare, and he would ask them to hold. Basically, can you defer your turn 1 turn?
There isn't a way to
Yeah.
defer a whole turn.
Yeah, I will hold my turn.
You can hold it. You can hold your action, but you would, if you wanted to, the only option would be to permanently drop yourself down in the initiative order to below another player.
I'm fine with dropping myself in the initiative.
Okay, so swap us.
Okay, so you're permanently
Okay.
dropped in the initiative. So Jules, your new initiative is now considered 15.
Okay, and the reason being is Nebula seeing the hits that Margot's getting. Nebula is going to rush forward. Let me see. Here. Let me check the measurement. Nah, he's got to come forward. All right, so Nebula's going to fucking take this risk. And he's going to run up to here.
Okay.
And how tall are these tables?
The tables are hip height. You can just kind of mantle them easily enough.
So I could stand on one?
Yeah.
Okay.
80s action movie, one hand jump
Yeah.
up onto them.
Yeah. No issues whatsoever. You're able to do that.
All right, cool. He's going to do it in such a way then that he comes to this spot because he specifically is not getting any attacks.
Sounds good.
But
It's
he's
15
at
feet.
15. And from there, every one of these little bastards is within 30 feet of him as the brand on his chest glows. And he says, I didn't want to have to do this, but beat it. And as he casts his divine sense, beat it, motherfuckers. His divine sense, abjure the extraplanar. Anything that is a fiend, a elemental, let me just pull it up to get the exact wording.
Get the wording.
Channel divinity.
A aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, or fiend within 30 feet of you that can hear you must make a wisdom saving throw of 14 or be turned for 1 minute.
Okay. So these are
Heyo.
considered fiends. So we'll go.
Let's go, baby!
We'll go just
All right,
left to
every one
right
of them
across.
DC 14.
So we'll go left to right across. So the first one, that is you said wisdom save?
Wisdom save of 14.
Okay, that's a fail.
Yes.
Success.
Would you want to mark them?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
It's just left to right, top to bottom. So number
okay,
1 is a
cool.
fail, number 2 is a success, number 3 is a fail, number 4 is a fail,
Yes.
number 5 is a fail, and
Yeah,
number 6
baby.
is a fail. So only one, the one who is currently prone beside Galahad on the verge of death, is the only one that succeeded.
And so every one of them must spend their turn to move as far away from me as they can. I believe using the dash action, and it can't willingly end its move in a space within 30 feet of me.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
You just pulled a goddamn
This is Channel Divinity, right?
Yeah, it's my Channel Divinity I get. That's why I wanted that short rest
called again?
so badly. It's called Abjure the Extraplanar. It's from the Oath of the Watchers.
Abjure the Extraplanar.
That is so...
So you are an Oath of the Watchers. I see.
Okay, so...
Goddamn Gravicon.
Use your Channel Divinity, castigate other...
I love what Gravicon did. He was like, get the fuck out. I know what to do. I was like, yes, sir. Right away, sir. I will get the fuck out of here and let you do your thing. You seem pretty knowledgeable about this. I believed you right away.
Yeah.
I've been in many battles. Just know when the right commander
So the
says,
creature is...
I got this.
Turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage. It has to move as far away from you as it can. Can't willingly end its movement within 30 feet of you. For its action, it can only use the dash action and try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can take the dodge action. It cannot do anything else. Okay, good to know.
So they're garbage.
Every single one of them is going to be marked with red, 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 and red. These are all unable to do anything but dash and get away, with the exception of the one that is pinned to the ground. Okay. Action down.
Now, for my other half of movement, I am going to again
my final move.
Get back to where I was trying to get to that damn door.
Okay.
And bonus action, I don't have anything to do here. So.
All right. So that's going to be it. So from there, we're going to go ahead and jump
now it's
to Jules.
Now it's my turn. Okay.
So you see the one in front of you, like, beaming down on you and biting into you multiple times, just looks over and looks at Nebula, and you see the green scales and, like, the little bit of liquid on its body just kind of go a little bit more pale, and you start noticing that it is now looking at the tunnel behind you as a place that it's probably going to try to run. What do you want to do?
Okay. Seeing that, Jules is just going to get the fuck out as far as she can, moving 30 feet this way. May I make a perception check to see if the rest of the bats look like that, and see if
they all look like that. You don't need to make a perception check. You notice that they're all very much like that. All of them are kind of looking in the same direction. They're large enough that it's not like you actively need to look. You can just kind of do that.
Okay.
I will just say,
to notice that the one on the ground isn't like that? That's specifically what I'm trying to do. I'm trying not to be nutty.
That one, given where your angles are looking past Galahad, what I'll do is, just as a heads up, you are still trying to leave a creature's melee adjacent space. It would get an attack of opportunity unless you used an action to disengage. On its turn, it will try to run, but right away, you are still technically engaged with it.
Yeah, no, I will take the disengage action and get the fuck out.
All right, so that's fine. So
I was trying to give you
move approved.
Yeah.
So you're able to shuffle your 30 feet sideways, eventually start crunching bone as you're shifting behind the table. But the creature does look incredibly afraid, and you're starting to move away. We'll say with the angle that you're at there with your dark vision, you'll notice that the one that is kind of pinned underneath Galahad's shield in some way doesn't look quite the same fear level as the rest of them, but it's also probably close to death considering, Galahad.
But I also have no bonus action abilities, so that will be my turn.
All right, so that'll be your whole turn. So after Jules, we come to Margot and Les.
You went first last time. Do you mind if I take this one?
I was about to say, how about you take this one,
I want to stay off this situation
dumbass.
as long as humanly possible. Okay, so actually, Jordy, I had a question because I forget if we had chatted about when I'm able to use my telekinetic movement to move like a large object. Or no, it's only a smaller object, right?
So it's a large or smaller object that is unsecured. So essentially a loose rock, loose tree root, stuff like that.
Damn crates.
Yeah. They're
if I
considered
were
loose.
to like summon one to me and it would hit all these idiots, would they just take
are
force
up
damage?
In the air.
Fall damage?
So this is called telekinetic movement.
It can be like, woo. Yeah. It says they can move. I can move it anywhere up to 30 feet.
You can move an object or a creature with your mind. You target one loose object, large or smaller. You can see the target within 30 feet. You can move it up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space.
So if I were to move here. That's up to the... Well, I can move it from there to... Yeah, I could hit all of them from there.
1d6... 30-foot drop would be so... It's an interesting thought.
Sorry, it's up to you. I know this class has some really crazy moves, so I'm just
I'm just trying to think.
Because I don't know if it would consider like fall damage because an object falling, hitting it. I don't know if it's because would they attack? It's an object.
Yeah. So the weird thing here is, it's not like you're taking an object and instantly moving it to your hand. It does move over the course of 6 seconds. Something moving 30 feet in 6 seconds is like a slow boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Like, it wouldn't actually damage anything in its way. It would just kind of shunt stuff out of the way a little bit. So
okay, well, in that case, knowing that, I'm going to try to open this door.
Okay. All right. So taking a look down at the door, you get a little bit of a better look now, and with you hear some of the screeching from behind, and with Nebula moving out of place and then back into place and looking a little bit more content. You take a second, you take a look at the door. The door does appear to be locked. There is a large keyhole that reaches through to the other side.
I'm going to do what I was put on this earth to do, what I was born to do, and that's to smash doors down.
Okay. Go and make a strength check for me. Try and smash the door down.
Is it a strength check, or am I attacking it?
Well, it's up to you. Are you trying to... So your trident can't really, like, cut through the door. You would be able to poke through the door.
Just smash it with it? I mean, I have other options.
I mean, it's kind of up to you. Do you want, like... What are you trying to do? Are you trying to break the door, or are you trying to move the door off its hinges?
I don't know. I guess if there's, like, pins in a door and it looks like I can just lift it off its hinges and... take it aside, more or less. Like, seeing this door, I'm trying to ascertain, like, is it a door that looks like I wouldn't be able to move it? I'd have to smash through it. No. Yeah.
So it's trying to smash through it. You're using what you have available via a strength check to break the door. You're not attacking a door. A door is not a creature that you.
I didn't know if it had like AC or hit points like some walls do. Okay, I'm going to smash it with my trident.
Yeah.
The door says no. Stop that.
The door repels. The door cast shield.
The door cast shield.
The door cast shield. All right.
Okay. Hit with the trident.
Man, it's gonna suck when he finds out that door's a mimic.
So that is 17 with the strength. That's a +2, so 19.
19. Okay. So you kind of rearing yourself back, taking an extra step, taking the trident, jamming it into the door, and putting all of your weight into it. You hear a and it's starting to go. It's not quite enough to break it in one go, but it is a door that you could probably pry off its hinges and essentially break through it.
Okay. But I can't pry it off its hinges now because it's my action to do that, correct?
It's your action to attempt to do it once.
Do I have my action surge available?
You did a short rest, so you should have it back, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's up to you.
Well, it would be fine.
No, I don't think I should use it.
Okay.
Action surging on a door is.
I just want to complete the action. No, I guess you're right. If there's something more crazier coming up, probably should just go to rest. Telekinetic movement, the door off? The way it is?
It is not a loose object.
Damn!
Yeah. Sorry, I'm stymieing all your stuff.
You are just yucking my yum, Jordy. Alright, fine. I'll just leave it the way it is.
I will always yuck your yum, Kevin. That is disgusting.
Exactly. You're a DM. I'm a player. That's how this works.
Anyway, okay.
What do you mean I can't just fly like Superman? This is ridiculous. This game is stupid.
You're stifling my creativity.
I met a car and told me how to fly.
All right. So, Les, that's going to be your action there. Do you want to stay in front of the door, or do you want to move out of the way?
I'll just stay there in case any of those buggers come flying our way this way.
All right, sounds good. So that's going to be Les's turn. Margot, you're up, with two of them looking very scared of Nebula and look like they're ready to turn and run, but are still claws out at the ready.
And I hear, like, what's going on behind me. Like, can I hear
you would hear a heavy coming from the other side, and you would know
And
that...
a loud fuck!
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so at this point, I understand that this is a really bad situation, and I'm also in a really bad situation. But if I'm going down, I'm taking these bastards with me,
Okay.
and I'm gonna cast a 2nd level Shatter right in the center of the bats.
Are you gonna hit Corso?
I'm
gonna hit
not.
teammates.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cast it. How do I ding ding? How does ding ding? No. I want to point it 3 spaces in front of me, right in the empty spot.
Will that get Galahad then?
Yeah.
Hold on.
What's the radius on Shatter? Is it 10 feet?
10.
I thought it
Yeah, okay, so you can hit all of them except the one that Jules was engaged with, but you will also hit Galahad.
Don't attack your friends! Don't attack your friends!
Hold on.
Either you hit Galahad or you hit yourself.
Because at this
Just
point,
do it.
because
Just do it.
no,
Just do
because
it.
I see
Just
Galahad.
do it.
I see Galahad, and I'm coughing up what I imagine is purple ooze, like it's just dripping from the sides of my mouth.
Yep.
We'll know if you wait and don't attack on the bat's turn, they will have to leave on their own volition. So they will all leave.
She doesn't know
this
that.
room. She doesn't know that?
No.
Oh shit, okay.
No,
So
none of us do.
Yeah, technically only
So-
Nebula knows that.
Okay.
So at this point, she coughs, and there's purple gunk basically bubbling out of the corners of my mouth. And if I go down, I'm taking y'all with me, and I'm doing a 2nd level Shatter right in the center of the room. And right before I cast it, I look at Galahad and I just say, I'm sorry.
So what you could actually... So this is the thing, is if you wanted to hit the one that Galahad is adjacent to, then yes, you would have to do it on that space. If you did it right here, just on that point, that would only hit those 4. It wouldn't hit the one that Galahad has pinned, but it wouldn't hit either of you 2.
Well, considering Galahad, all he has to do is just look at this thing, and it's probably going to die.
Yeah, you can tell it's definitely hurt.
I would prefer to do that.
Okay, all right, so we'll say that it'll make those 4. So what is it that they have to do? I'm assuming it's a saving throw?
So it's a Constitution saving throw of 12. I do roll 3d8, and then they take half that damage.
What type of damage is it?
It is
It's thunder?
thunder.
Awesome.
Thunder.
They are not resistant to thunder damage.
Fuck you! Oh shit! 8, 6, and a 5, motherfuckers.
That's a 5 and a 6 on saves. They do have advantage on the saving throws against it, but it's a 7 on the second. It's a 4 on the third. Oh my god. Come on, advantage. And a 17. Okay, so this one here succeeds. The other 3 fail and instantly shatter and explode into piles of ichor.
Yeah!
Correct.
So those 3 are down.
So here's the thing. It still technically takes half damage, so that is
True.
8. Oh my god, math. I need to math,
What
but
was
my
the
brain
total?
is too excited right now. It's 8 plus 6 plus 5.
Okay, so it's 19,
then-
so that's halved down to 9. They only have 7 hit points, so that one drops
Fuck
as well.
you!
So, Margot, with that, you shattering in the center of the room, this echoing and kind of right at the edge, Galahad, you feel it just kind of wavering, and this little pulse just passes across your face as you look over, and all of a sudden just ichor gets splattered across your face as the one that was directly beside you just explodes into a pile of purple and green and black. Margot, same thing for you.
Windshield wipers.
Margot, same thing for you. You kind of know it's coming, and you take one of your wings and you lift it up as all 4 of them just from the inside out and spread their liquid all over the ground and against the walls. They are all 4 of them instantly dispatched. Nicely
Good.
done.
Good.
So that's your action to do that. What do you want to do elsewise?
At this point, I'm gonna try and back up and get away because, again, I'm coughing up purple bubbles. So
Go down.
I'm, at this point, gonna look at Galahad and be like, I think you got this. Hopefully. And then I'm just gonna kind of do a little bounce back step and try to pull myself out of the danger zone.
Easy enough to do. You can shove past Nebula there. At the end of your turn, go ahead and make another con save for me to try and resist the poison.
Let's see here. That is 17.
17 is enough, so you are no longer considered poison. Alrighty. Good to go there. So that's Margot and Les. All of your turns all completely done. Last, we come to the last group. So this one, adjacent, still seeing Nebula, has nothing that it can do. 5, 10. What is their
And
movement?
it's the dash action.
25, 30,
Later.
35, 40. And then it just flies all the way back down. 5,
Yeet.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. As it is making its way real far back into the previous chamber.
It's gonna go warn the person.
So with that, we've got the one that's on the ground. Galahad, you having pinned that one onto the ground, pulled it down out of the sky. It's kind of extracting itself, using half of its movement to stand up, looking around at the situation, seeing all 4 of the other ones just get instantly exploded, and it just goes, and then vanishes from sight.
Speaking, disappearing, flying rats. I don't like this.
What was that?
As it vanishes, you do notice a little bit of movement, or a little bit of sound as the boxes start to rustle a little bit. You do get to make an attack at disadvantage.
Oh my god!
Attack of opportunity at disadvantage as the creature tries to leave your space.
That
Ooh, okay, so I
Fucking-
would say 16 and an 11, so at disadvantage, that's a 17.
17 is going to be enough. You just kind of hear it like squeaking, and then you notice that a little drop of blood just touches the ground, maybe 5.5 feet away from you. It's about to leave your space, and you just grab your sword and straight through the top of it. It has 1 hit point. So you just shove it straight through, and it just impales onto your thing, and then rematerializes, seemingly being able to become invisible.
Well, now it
There might be
become
more?
dead.
So, with that...
So that was a 16, if that makes a difference. I don't think it does. But...
No, yeah, it's a 13 to hit. It had 1 hit point. It was more than enough.
Man.
So, with that, the creatures effectively dispatched, the last one running away. You guys are back inside the room.
Hey, Jordy.
Yes.
I want to blow your mind with something.
Yeah.
I cast Divine Sense
Yeah.
immediately.
Instantly looking into the room.
Because now that I saw that like invisibility moment, a bit like vanishing, I'm like, motherfucker.
You are like someone who watches like the 3rd season of 24, and you're like, that clock! Oh my god! It's counting down! Whoa!
Oh my
That is
god.
Nebula is just like, come on, show yourself.
Show yourself, bitch. So instinctively, you see it go invisible. You see it start to move away. Galahad getting a strike coming straight down over the top as it's kind of crawling across the ground, impaling it, and the body just kind of now laying there as he rips it off of his blade. You immediately use Divine Sense, look around the room. There are no bats remaining in the room. You take a good 6 seconds, inspect everything. You no longer get any pings of the Divine Sense.
Okay.
No threats
Damn.
detected.
Ah!
So we are no longer in initiative order.
I hear a door being abused somewhere.
I'm so
Congratulations.
gonna try to smash this door all the way through.
You dispatch 7 quasits.
At this
One of my favorite
point,
little creatures.
Margot.
Yeah.
At this point, Margot still like residual purple bubbles. Like you can obviously tell, like maybe like she's feeling it. I'm going to hobble over to Phelan and almost like collapse on top of him, and basically
Yeah.
just look up at him, like almost kind of like in a way of pity, like for herself.
Mhm.
Just be like, "Why did you save me?"
And I'm gonna hold on to her, and as I do, I'm going to cast a 1st level Cure Wounds. And as I do, I'll say, "We are friends, right? I thought we agreed about that in the middle of that cabin, and the lengths I'll go to protect my friends, no end to."
I am
and-
going to like make eye contact with Phelan, trying to disconcern the feelings that I'm currently going through of like near survival, knowing very well that that could have ended to the point where I could have gone down. And friends. Yeah, I suppose that is what we are.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the hit point stuff, but yes, I'll shoot that to you as I cast Cure Wounds in slight purple light, in similar color to what the wings would have been. Which the wings would have been, like slightly purple, wreathed in a slight shine of metal, but looking
Would
very
I, as a dragon, understand the symbolism behind the color of his wings?
Phelan, what were the color of your wings?
The wings would have been
So one of the metallic
the wings themselves
dragons, so platinum, silver, gold,
Yeah.
bronze.
they would have been bronze.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Margot, you recognizing, first off, metallic dragon wings, not chromatic. Nothing to do with Tiamat and the more, not feral nature, but more natural aspect of a lot of the chromatic dragons. Definitely being not the more aggressive per se, but just the ones who kind of liked and appreciated dragon kind and preferred not to interact with humans as much. Metallic dragons preferred a little bit more interaction. Some of them had abilities to shift their form from their dragon form into a humanoid form, and some of them like to walk in and amongst the humans. Bronze dragons specifically, similar to yourself, of a fire nature.
At this point, I'm gonna like kind of grab onto his arm like as he's healing me and just be like, "You're not your average run-of-the-mill bugbear, are you?"
Oh, sorry, I should say, I apologize. Bronze dragon is lightning. It's not fire. It's copper that's fire.
Oh yeah. I will be completely honest with you. I'm not very sure what that was, but I will assure you I'm a very ordinary bugbear, and everything I am and everything that is special about me is because of people who've helped me throughout the way.
If you need answers to what that is, well, I suppose I want answers now too.
I think maybe once we're out of here, that's something I'll definitely want to look into.
I'll help in any way that I can as a thank you, I suppose.
Always. And you'll get 6 points of healing.
Nebula's gonna lean back. Speaking of out of here, how's it coming with that door there, Les?
All right. So, Les, I'll allow you 2 more strength checks to try and break through the door before you essentially determine if it's strong enough to resist you. So, go ahead and make another strength check for me.
Huzzah! Damn. That's an 8 for the first one.
Yeah, so the first one, you had a good impact, and you saw a couple of cracks start to form, and you thought, okay, maybe I'll do this. And you take your trident, and you jam it into the cracks, and then you realize, oh, that was really dumb. And you just rip the trident back out. So, go ahead and make your third one.
Galahad just asked if he can give help.
Yeah.
I can help.
So we'll say it's kind of a narrow space. The two of you aren't really able to do it. It's up to you to decide who wants to try. It's just a singular check by one character, but you get to decide who gets to do it.
But I got one more, right?
So so you can do one more, and then Galahad can take over for another 3 tries of his own.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, 13.
Yeah, 13, same thing. You're trying to break through. Your first one definitely hit it correctly, but you felt maybe you pop something in your shoulder, and you kind of pull your punches on the second one and third one, as it were.
There wasn't a lot of door breaking in Psy Warrior training, okay?
All right, so you kind of step back out of the way, allow Galahad to come in and around there. So Galahad, you see that there is a crack in the door, and you kind of lean your form against it. Go ahead and make a strength check for me.
Strength check. What's that? That's an 11.
11.
No, that's a 9.
A 9. Okay. So, yeah, you leaning in against it, trying to figure out what's there, see if you can find some kind of way around it. The door seems particularly well built. There's iron bands around the top, an iron band across the center, creating essentially an X in the center of the door. There is a lock on the door that you could try to pick if you wanted to, but with you guys bashing against
Was it locked?
it is locked. You reach for the handle, and the handle does not turn.
There was a lock, but the door was not locked, and we've just been bashing an unlocked door down. All right. Well, you know what? In for a penny, in for a pound. Let's just bash the crap out of this door.
Right.
That is 21.
21. You start to feel a little bit more headway get done, and you're shoving through, and you're starting to crack it a little bit more. As best you can tell, this is a very securely reinforced door. Even with that incredibly hard hit, big wind up, probably one of the strongest hits that you can give, you get the feeling that you would not be able to break this door down. It seems to be designed to prevent entities from being able to smash through it.
Okay, but I still have one more try, right?
You do? Sure.
It won't work, but go for it.
I will not.
It's
leave
more
this
the
job
experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can gain some door bashing experience.
Of course, yeah. Plus one in door bashing.
That's a 5.
I love that.
It's a 5. So on the third one, you kind of like feeling the iron bands repel you on the second time, throwing everything you have in there. The third one is just, it's a half-hearted attempt. You're like, this thing is probably not going to come down anyway. I'll just do it one more time. And you just put your shoulder against it, and the door doesn't even budge.
Maybe we should get our expert lockpicker to help this out.
That's something I can do, and I'll look at Margot, give her a nod, and move on over. As I try and unlock it, I'll use my thieves' tools, pull them out, and see what we can do.
All right, so go ahead and make a thieves' tools check for me.
Margot's gonna lean herself against the wall, like almost like pin. Like you have to use the wall for leverage to like stand myself up because, like, shit's hurty. It hurty real bad.
What time is it? It's 2:13.
That'll be a 14.
14. Okay. So as you have your lockpicks inside the door, and it's definitely odd, a door being locked from both sides. It's not a single bolt that is necessary to that the key impacts against a backing and then eventually turns and allows it to go through. You start to feel the clicks of your lockpicks hitting. You hit one tumbler, second tumbler, and then on the third one, you think you've got it, and then you hear a click that's a little bit of a different sound. And you immediately kind of look around and, oh God, what happened?
Oh, that's just
and then you
me
start to
personally.
see coming through the door lock a very bright flash of purple hot energy that you instinctively remove your hands. You can feel the heat coming out of it. You take your lockpicks back, but the energy subsides. It seems as though this may have triggered something on the other side of the door. But you, on the side that you're on, were not affected by whatever this was.
Okay. I'm scared, and I think I almost got blasted. Okay, maybe we back up and try this again, but maybe with my mage hand, so we don't get yeeted into the ether.
That sounds like a good idea.
Probably a wise idea, yes.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go back up. Yeah, I'm gonna actually go to like where Margot is standing and like ask people like just kind of move back a bit so that way I can see the door, but I'm not in like a direct line.
Okay.
Margot willingly stands out of his way. You almost find that she's like teetering a little bit. She almost reaches out for like less to like catch herself, and then she realizes what she was gonna do, and then she like purposefully like uses the wall to hold herself up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Jules seeing this also will stand closer to Margot and kind of be ready in case Margot does.
And this time I'll try again. I'll cast my mage hand and pass on over my thieves tools and see if I have better luck this time, as I stare at that lock and have my mage hand maneuver through the same process again.
Okay, so the DC has gone up a little bit for this because you tried once, you failed, and you're getting a little bit skittish about it. Go ahead and roll another thieves tools check for me. Before you do that, Galahad, you asked, how's Margot looking? Yeah, Margot, how you looking?
I'm not. Let me put it this way. Squishy with a high chance of fainty.
Okay.
Okay.
So while Phelan's getting into the zone,
AutoZone.
I'm going to
I didn't mean to say that out
walk
loud.
up to Margot. Galahad's going to ruffle through his jacket and pull out. I've got one right here. I'm going to hold out a healing potion.
You look like you could use it more than I would.
Margot's gonna look at him and she's gonna kind of like wipe off the residual purple gunk from her lips. She's gonna be like, I almost felt rats with wings. And just takes the potion bottle and she's gonna feel like nothing would kill me more than knowing that I could have gone down to rats with wings. And she's gonna slam it like it was a shot of vodka.
All right. So unstopping it and just gulping the whole thing down. Go ahead and roll 2d4 plus 2 healing.
Oh, that's an evil one. I don't like that one. Where's the nice one? Okay. 2d4 plus what?
2.
Oh, 8. Sweet. Thank you.
Nice.
Dope.
All right. So Margot getting pepped up a little bit. You notice some of the wounds on the shoulders and on the back are starting to close and stitch themselves back together a little bit. And as you guys are
Margot's gonna kind of hawk a loogie of like the remaining like nastiness in her mouth a little bit, just like spit it out on the side of the wall, and look over at Galahad. And she's gonna be like, I'll try to be better next time. This whole place doesn't exactly work with fire, turns out. I might need to change my tactics.
I'm just gonna subtly cough to myself. Yeah.
I was like, why? Oh yeah, the firebolt.
His head still seems in the back.
Margot's gonna look over at Les. I'm gonna look over at Les. She's... Tactics will be changed. And at this point, I'm gonna look back over at Phelan, and she's gonna kind of like give him a reassuring nod and be like, I know you can do this.
And that was the push I freaking needed because I rolled 18 plus 4 plus my 2 proficiency. That makes for a 24, baby.
Damn!
DC on an increased DC of 22.
Oh, God!
Able to get through the door. So,
Hell yeah.
you feel the tumblers start to click. You hit the same 2 that you had hit originally. And kind of not really sure what was on the other side of the door. You're making sure that you avoid that 3rd tumbler that you know is essentially a trapped tumbler. The 4th, the 5th, the 6th. This is a very complex lock. This is not something that most people would be able to pick. But you manage to do it, and you eventually hear the heavy, resounding as the bolt itself is released, and the door just swings outwards towards you. Or sorry, swings inwards, I should say, towards you.
Okay.
Nebula is going to... the door is open, right?
The door is currently cracked ever so slightly. As it opens, you see that there is a little bit of purple light that starts to spill onto the now open part of where the door is, and it seems to be flickering almost like firelight on the other side.
And Nebula's going to tap Phelan on the shoulder, like, looking at that, and kind of just open it from a distance. And Nebula uses minor illusion to make a crouching version of himself right in front of the door. That would be seen if it was open.
Okay.
And I'm gonna bring back my thieves' tools first with my mage hand, and then recreate it to try and open the door with it, and just try and slightly just pull.
I cast divine sense.
He beat you to it.
So, slowly pulling Nebula's visage there, just on the other side of the door, frozen in place as the door just kind of opens towards it. So Phelan, you're the one peeking around the corner looking?
Yes.
Alrighty. So, taking a look around the corner, you see inside the room directly off to the other side, and I'm going to go ahead and show this to you guys here, that there is another door on the opposite side of the room. However, the door is not the dominant feature of this room.
It's the beholder.
Purple basins of lit fire are present inside the room. The
Shit.
temperature of the hallway that you're in as the door opens suddenly increases drastically. Probably almost twice the temperature of what you would consider comfortable, even on a warm summer's day.
What about to me?
To you,
I'm Australian. I don't take any words.
Galahad, you don't feel it. Margot, this feels akin to something that you have felt before when you had been burned. This is incredibly hot purple flame emerging out of 4 basins that is contained within them. But Phelan, thinking back to when you had tried and failed to open the door, you would imagine that there would be some kind of a trap that would be triggered if a door is attempted to be opened and unsuccessful. That would cause these basins to and alight the entirety of the room.
Okay, so that's great and terrifying. I'll turn back and relay all of this to everybody around and make sure like they know what's up ahead. It doesn't seem like anybody else is out there, but there are 3 doors, and I do not want to be in that room in case I fail in trying to open one of those doors.
Question. Oh, actually, as a preface for asking this question, I have to make 1 concentration check, which was like 15. Detect magic still up for me.
It wouldn't be because you did that before you guys took your short rest.
Yeah, we took a short rest to attune to the daggers and heal. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that happened. But okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, Harry.
Okay. But you see that the purple light of the flames is just
Okay, so
flickering in the basins.
Phelan, are you saying that the room is trapped if we go in or if we fiddle with the doors?
I think if we fiddle with the doors, but I think that we should just be careful anyways.
What do you think, Les?
I was gonna say, are we all able to like kind of peek around the corner and see what's in this room?
I mean, you can all kind of like shuffle up against each other and do like the awkward friends while everybody looking through the door at the same time.
Margot, I know what kind of heat this is.
Yeah, the Scooby-Doo look.
Yeah.
Sorry, Margot.
I know what kind of heat this is, or at least I know the temperature that it can get to. You're not to the whole party. You're not going to want to survive. Like, you're not going to want to be around that. I will tell you right now.
If Margot says don't mess with fire, you're the expert there.
There was 2 things I wanted to try to ascertain looking into the room. Was 1, the basin that the fire is in, is it like stuck into the ground, or could it maybe be moved?
They appear to be stone basins that are affixed to the ground.
Okay, and 2, are we seeing whatever this thing is here?
You guys haven't made your way in yet. That's just, I don't want to have to edit my map on the fly. You would have to make your way into the room.
Okay.
Correct. There's no stairs there that you can see. You see the 8 basins, and Phelan, with your angle and the size of the room, you would imagine that there would be 4 doors, one of which you now have open in front of you.
If we try and like, I guess, keep this door, what is it? If we keep this door slightly cracked, I can use my mage hand again to do the same thing. There is chance that I get burnt, but it is quite, I guess I minimize that risk, I hope. But before, we want to just check the room.
Let's go in cautiously. Is anyone here a little less affected by fire? And he looks over at Galahad and at Margot.
Jules steps forward and goes, I am, actually.
I lived in an active volcano. This sort of heat, it's like a summer's day to me.
I'm
Wonderful.
just naturally hot.
Yeah.
Daddy, daddy,
so, Phelan, perhaps it's best you and I stand guard and allow the more agile ones in regards to this element enter the room.
I clank forward. Cool.
Easy enough.
Ooh. Actually, let me see. Yeah, if... Oh, I get to be rather than here. I guess it doesn't matter. If the fire goes, it's going to fill up this whole room, so never mind.
Okay. So, who wants to venture into the room? Galahad?
Me.
And Jules?
Me.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So the three of you in that order. Galahad, Jules, and then Margot, you start to make your way down into the room. And stepping in, the heat is severe. Even the three of you have to slow your breathing as the air is thick and heavy with residual heat and flame. The room is 25 feet, perfectly square. A pair of lit fires beside 4 identical doors, one door set in each wall. Taking a look around and looking up above, you notice that the ceiling in this room is higher, about 25 feet up. But there does appear to be something... Jules, you would notice this with dark vision, and even actually in the lit room, all of you would notice it, that there does appear to be a slight break in the ceiling. You would imagine that something would either descend from above or ascend to whatever is up there, but it is far beyond your current reach, 25 feet up.
How big is the break?
It's essentially a very tiny gap in the ceiling, essentially. The one thing this does do. Sorry, go ahead.
Can you quantify tiny?
Yeah, it would be small enough that you could fit a blade between, in a crack, essentially.
Basically, there's grooves.
Yeah, there's grooves on 4 sides, directly above, like a single stone plate, about 5 feet, just a single square 5-foot area.
Like a tile.
Yeah, exactly, like a tile on the roof that just doesn't quite fit. The one thing I will say that this gives you is, and that you had really been lacking, is a knowledge of roughly how far underground you are. This would give you an idea that whatever is above you, being 25 feet up to the ceiling, you're a good ways underground at this point. A lot further than you were at some of the other outlets of the tunnels where they came up very close to the surface. This one is substantially further down.
Okay. Was there ever a moment where we felt like there was an incline and we headed down?
It's been so gradual that you didn't really notice. Like, it would be so minor with the inclines and declines that you weren't really able to tell over the course of the journey. But you did know that you traveled for quite a ways. It was almost 10 minutes of walking just to get from where the outlet point was to where you currently are. Can
I make some sort of roll to attempt to do some mental math to see if we've changed in if we're the ones that changed in elevation, or the ground level is what changed in elevation, basically?
Sure, make an intelligence roll. Just straight intelligence.
That is a 19 plus my intelligence, which is plus 4. So
damn, 23. Yeah, you would know that the way that the land was, for the amount of time that you had spent in Felderwin, you haven't been there long, but the city is flat. It's a prairie city, essentially. The fact elevation changes like this, 30 feet to 12 feet, don't really exist up on the surface. They exist underground. So while you didn't feel it, you were likely the ones who ended up descending further in.
Okay, cool.
My ears are always plugged. What the heck?
It's so gradual you don't even notice.
Why did my ears pop?
But you have the room in front of you. You have what you would imagine is potentially an entrance or exit a ways up there. And then the 3 doors.
All right.
So with that, we're going to take a quick break here because it is 8 o'clock at this point. You guys have a direction that you can decide to go, so we'll give you a little bit of time to think about that. We're going to kill up music for now, and yeah, we're going to see you guys back here after our break. Will be 10, maybe 15 minutes or so. Grab a drink, grab a little bit of food, and then we'll figure out what direction you guys are going to move into. So we'll see you guys back here soon. Bye-bye. And we're back. So, thank you everybody for sticking with us through our break. Hope you enjoyed some nice relaxing sounds of jazz music from me, your DM.
Like jazz.
You like jazz. So, with that, the party having made their way in, a room full of 8 lit braziers of purple flame. The room incredibly hot around them. Margot feeling surprisingly comfortable, even given her background. You've got 3 closed doors, all with similar locks on them. And also, for clarification, because it wasn't really made clear, 35 feet up where those gaps in the ceiling are, that does appear to be something that would essentially be akin to a trap door. Very similar to what you had seen on some of the other exits. This one just much higher up and seemingly made of stone. So, what would you all like to do?
So generally speaking, we said we figured we were probably somewhere around halfway, like in the middle of town, right?
Pretty close to the middle of town, as best you could figure.
Which direction would lead to the manor?
Leading to the manor would be back the way that you came.
Okay,
Yeah.
so not
essentially what happened
okay.
is from where you were on the manor, you went towards the center of town. You cut a little bit north and then a little bit further in, and then you were in these rooms.
Okay, cool. So what do we want to do?
I'd hate to turn back around and leave, especially considering that it was so challenging for us to get in here. Let's push forward at least a little bit more, see if we can't find the end.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah. Then which door do we want to go through? Or do we want to try?
Let me take a look at that trap door on the ceiling first, and Jules will cast Mage Hand and kind of fiddle around with it. Not opening it quite yet, but just kind of testing like how heavy it is and assessing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. So okay. Feeling around for it up there, you don't see a handle of any kind. You know definitively with your Mage Hand and with your Dark Vision, looking up and with the light from the braziers that are in the room, it is not a pull. It is a push. It's going to open outwards to something, just like the rest of the ones that you had seen. Using the entirety of the strength of your Mage Hand, all 5 pounds, it doesn't even move. Okay. Whatever this is a quite heavy trapdoor of some kind.
All right. I will communicate that to the party and kind of shrug.
Do we, maybe you and I want to try it? Maybe 2 Mage Hands, maybe try that?
That sounds good to me. Let's try that.
Nice. I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Fishy Brains seems to like moving things with his mind. Do you think maybe he might be somebody beneficial in this situation?
I've never met Mr. Fishy Brains, so I don't know.
At this point, being corrected by Phelan. Les Paul. I meant Les Paul.
I have met Les. Is that something that you're able to do, Les?
Are we all like huddled together at this point? I don't know if you guys are still inside there and we were out here.
Margot, so the 3 of us are in the room. So it's technically Margot, Jules, and Galahad are already in the room because we can all resist heat.
And we were staying guard.
Yeah, and you guys were outside of the room. So I imagine at this point it would just be a matter of you turning to Mr. Fishy Brains and being like, hey, want to join in the fun?
I'll show you, Mr. Fishy Brains, motherfucker. And I just like start muttering and swearing under my breath as I get closer.
Just a quick point, just because I don't want to mislead anyone. Galahad doesn't have any actual resistances to heat or fire. He's just made of metal. Like, I'm not immune, resistant. If I'm hot to the touch, someone's gonna get
It's fine.
So
I don't want to make it out like I'm got something I don't have because.
no, it's fine. So the room itself is hot. You know, the equivalent of sweating for a robot. You would be warm inside the room, but it's not so much that it's damaging you currently.
Currently is the key
It's
word.
more like if you pull on the wrong door.
I've got the Captain America technique. We'll be fine.
But Les, you are able to make your way into the room, and you feel a bit like a boiled crab at this point. Like, it is hot, but it's not so much that you're starting to take ill adverse effects for it.
I smell delicious.
While they're doing all of
Butter
that,
me, I'm done.
Nebula would like to kind of poke a little bit over to look into the room. And what is the size of these basins with this flame in them? Like, what size bowl are we talking about here?
So the bowls stand to about just below chest height, kind of like midway up your sternum. They are quite high off the ground. They are 5 feet across in diameter.
Okay.
So they are quite large, and they are burning very intently. The three of you who are in the room, it's tough to get a little bit close to it. Margot and Jules, it's a little bit easier for you two. You kind of take a look in, and you see that there is no flame source. There is just flame. There's no fire, no wood of any kind that is burning. It is as if the basin itself is the flame.
May I make an Arcana check?
Yeah, go for it.
And while she's doing that, my divine sense, has that pinged anything?
Arcana check.
17.
I would also like to. I wonder.
I rolled a 17. Did you already?
17, okay. So
Can I see if I know anything about like the history of the magic or anything like that that's causing this?
it's another Arcana check, so you can make that as well. So Galahad, we'll do yours first. So for Divine Sense, it's Fey, Fiend, Celestial, Undead, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so it doesn't give you the nature of any...
Not behind cover.
Yeah, so no, it doesn't give you the nature of any magic or anything. Divine Sense does not ping for anything in this room. Margot, what was your Arcana check?
So I got a 17, but I have a +3 to my Arcana, so I'm at a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. And Jules, yours was a 17 total?
17 total, yep.
Okay. So, Jules, you get the feeling that this is some kind of variant on Ever-Burning Flame. The fact that it's purple is a little bit different. And there's probably an enchantment of some kind that has made it this hotter, more arcane style of flame. Margot, given the explosion that, for lack of a better term, of the fire beyond the door when Phelan was trying to go through that, and the fact that you know that this is very likely trapped, you would imagine that there was probably some kind of an enchantment, some kind of an abjuration spell that has been cast, potentially not on the basins, because you're not actually interacting with the basins, but on the doors.
I guess the only way we could like ping to see what door it was like there's none of the senses that we have available to like kind of that.
And can I just get a quick reminder? Abjuration, school. That's the school of magic that. What
Sorry,
again?
I apologize. I meant evocation. Evocation, the school of burn shit
Evocation
down.
does big boom.
Yeah, evocation is big boom.
Okay,
Yeah, apologies, I misspoke there.
you're good.
Never forgive you for that, Jody.
Have to work that
Does
back.
Does Margot tell us this?
I look and I let them know of the information that I can glean from checking it out. At this point, the best thing is worry less about the basins and more about the door. Or the doors.
Well, let's attempt to open them from a distance, shall we? And Jules will kind of gesture to everybody to take a few steps back in order to be just within mage hand range.
Okay. So, because of how the doors are oriented, the only one that you're really able to get an angle on is the one directly across. And it's a 30-foot range on mage hand, or 60?
Yep.
30, yeah.
30? So, you would basically need to be standing in the doorway on the other side in order to mage hand across the room.
Okay, yeah. Jules will gesture for everybody to get the fuck out of the room and to stand in the doorway and say, I'm gonna open that one first. Unless there's objections.
Saint has an idea, but so do I.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Saint, you're up first.
While this is happening, I would like to go through the ritual casting of Detect Magic, please.
Sounds good. So you've been, we'll say, we'll give you an extra minute or so of doing that as they figure this out. Margot, what was your thing?
This is up to DM discretion. Mm-hmm. So at this point, so this is up to you. Shield is a ward on me. Mm-hmm. So if I technically envelop Jules with my own body and then cast it on myself, does that still count?
Shield increases your AC to prevent enemy attacks from piercing through it. It does not really do anything in terms of flame-based avoidance effects. So thinking about it in that respect, if you were to cover Jules fully, essentially give her full cover, it would prevent any damage from going through of a traditional weapon attack or prevent anybody from attacking her directly. But because of the nature of this and what you had seen and kind of what you gleaned from your dirty 20 on the evocation, this is most likely something where the room becomes engulfed in flame. It's not something that is a direct attack. It's you need to save against that to avoid the damage. So shield would probably not do anything.
All right, that's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, no, it's worth asking because that's a rules clarification thing, and there will be some times when that could work. This is just specifically not one of them.
Cool.
All right, so Galahad, did you want to explain to everybody that you were ritual casting Detect Magic?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you guys all want to wait the 10 minutes or so for Galahad to go through that and figure out what's magical inside the room, or did you want to move ahead with anything while he was doing so?
No, yeah, I think it's worth the Detect Magic.
Patience is key. Patience is key.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Margot says that? Dang.
So you said 5 feet across, right? Huge, pretty big basins?
Correct, yeah.
All right, so that is...
You could easily, if there wasn't flame in them, you could easily use this as like a bathtub of sorts.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
By a bath.
The beach, this is a bathtub.
I mean, you could technically use it as a bathtub too. You just may not get out of it.
There she is. So, taking the 10 minutes, where do you guys want to go while Galahad is casting this spell? Do you just want to stay in the room and be present, or do you want to backtrack a little bit? What do you want to do?
I think staying together at this point would be wise.
Yeah, just waiting for the Detect Magic to happen.
How big are these tables behind us?
Tables behind you are about 5 feet across and 10 feet long and 15 feet long, respectively. 2 of them just stacked in a decent manner.
What are their legs and stuff like? Are these solid? Like, are they tabletops with just 4 legs? Or give me the rundown on these real quick.
Could you play D&D?
So the tables themselves are fairly thick topped. You'd be looking at about a foot or so of solid oak on the top. The legs are supporting that, and they're typically made of what look to be metal wrapped wood. So they're wooden legs with enough metal to make sure that they don't buckle underneath the weight of what's on top. All of the tables, regardless of the 2 that are there, have large deep grooves and gashes. You've got knives off to the side. You've got what look like cleaning supplies, assorted rags and bottles of water and things like that that are used to maybe wipe down the tables.
So I am going to look to Phelan, because we're the ones out here, and say, how badly do we want it to be known that no one was here? Or do you think that time's already passed, my friend?
I think with one of the creatures having left, we are quite past that. And I think the lack of hellhounds and everything that we've done and stolen, I think we're past that, so it's fine. What were you thinking?
Give me a hand here. And he'll move into the other spot and is going to ask Phelan to help him, and they'll see if they can just do this by themselves. Grab one of these tables.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And
I count as a large creature when I'm trying to lift anything, so I can.
I want us to take this into that room. You said, I said, based on what I saw through the doorway, the spacing on those basins, we've got some tables here and some things. We may not be able to stop it completely, but we might be able to cover some of those flames to tamper down on that mechanism they have. And so because these are 5 feet wide and 15 feet long, I want to put them diagonally over some basins.
Okay.
Doesn't fire eat wood?
There's some metal wrapping here, and if we do this, I'd like to do it timed. We won't toss them up until we're ready to quickly turn around and allow you to give it a go. But like I said, if this idea doesn't pan out, obviously they're going to know where we're here. But if they already do know, we may as well give ourselves the best chance.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's do it. I'll go ahead and...
Okay, so the weight of the tables is quite heavy. Phelan, with your increased ability, your size counting is large when trying to move things. That will be fine. You'll do that without a check required. Nebula, I'll go ahead and get you to make a strength check. See how successful you are at lifting one of the tables.
Okay, rolling a strength check there. That's a nat 20.
22, damn. All right, so...
Strong boy!
An idea put into successful motion as the two of you are quite easily able to lift up one of these tables. It is heavy, but you're finding the right anchor points and the right angling, getting your arms wrapped around the legs and lifting with your legs and are getting it up. And you feel like this is something that you would potentially be able to do. Getting it around the corner is tough, but the hallways are wide enough. It's not a very sharp, tight, narrow corridor by any stretch. You would be able to maneuver, we'll say as Galahad is doing his ritual cast, we'll say you could get both of the tables into the room, that you would then be able to invert them and flip them on top at any given moment. So that would give you enough to be able to cover 4 of the 8 basins with those 2 tables.
Cool.
Okay,
So,
good to know.
Yeah, we've set those in there, and while Galahad is doing his thing, Nebula will just kind of say to the others, because clearly they're going to make 2 trips, so they see him coming in, and it's just like... if things go sideways, I thought we might have something here to tamper down the effects of whatever this is. And by this point, Phelan brings up a good point. It's likely they'll know we're here regardless.
In for a penny, out for a pound.
And so that's what Nebula's done with his time, is talk that idea through with Phelan and set it up.
Okay. Margot, Jules, Les, anything you guys wanted to accomplish while Galahad was casting?
I think that Jules will kind of poke around in the other room, see if there's anything else to find, but other than that, not really.
Okay.
Margot's not going to do much.
Yeah, you've done a pretty thorough check. The only thing that you really hadn't checked is once the tables were moved out of the way is looking behind and maybe through some of the scraps of the bones and things. There you don't see anything of any real note. You just see assorted sizes. You do notice that the bones themselves are all cracked and broken. There are no intact bones that are here. We'll say that's kind of the one thing that you get a little bit of time to take a look through and realize that that's the case. So with that, Galahad, your Detect Magic ritual completes casting. You begin looking around the room, and the room is lit up with all of the magics. You have evocation magic on each of the 4 doors, with the one that you had opened looking to be dulled out, as if now that the door is opened, the magic is no longer in effect. But there is evocation magic attached to each of the other 3 doors. The flames themselves are evocation as well, so you know that these are definitively magical flames that are tied to the doors in some respect. And obviously the traditional trappings of all the items that you guys are wearing. Taking a look up at the ceiling, however, looking at that one tile, that does not appear to be magical.
Let me push it.
I will communicate to the whole party, identifying all of the specific points of evocation magic in the room, and I will note that the evocation magic on the door that we've already triggered has faded. That's interesting.
It would be something that I'll say with the Detect Magic, with Margot's not 20, with Jules' 17. Your rolls have been high enough that you would imagine that while a door is unlocked, the magic that is associated with the rune, the trap, is essentially currently dispelled. Should that door become locked again, it would come back to life and the trap would be rearmed.
All right.
So
we need to prop this motherfucker before we walk in, so we don't get locked inside or anything.
So So it's something.
But you guys,
Sorry, just to clarify, Phelan, this is something where you would have to manually relock the door. It's not like the door's going to close and it's going to automatically lock. You've unlocked the tumblers, you've released the trap, so you would have to go through the effort of actually relocking it yourself.
I'm sorry, just for clarification, are you saying the trap on the room or the trap on just that door?
That singular door. Each door has its own trap. Yeah. Less.
Identified each point of detonation.
I was just gonna say, if we wanted to do my force push thing, we could have everyone just get out of the room while I do it, so minimize anything, if anything does happen, but it seems like it might not trigger anything. But secondly, with Phelan being so good at lockpicking, the probability of you actually unlocking something is probably great, but if you fail, it'll be bad.
Yeah. Nebula, how about this then? How about maybe, I don't know, I was thinking maybe we can use the tables as cover to hide behind if the flames come by. I mean, I guess we could do that with the door, so like we can just like keep it peaked and then like have all the things going on inside, so that way, you know, we don't all get burnt.
But that one above us is not trapped to anything. There's no magic on it, so at least that might be a safer bet.
Not that I can detect anyway.
Well, if that
Yeah,
trapdoor isn't magical, we might as well test it first.
you're right. You're right.
Allow those of us that aren't going to be moving it to make our way out of the room just
to be safe. I'll take the hit if anything goes weird.
I'll be the
Okay.
one between the rest of the party and the braziers, just in case.
I have one more of my telekinetic. Or do I have? Yeah, one more use the shield of the telekinetic shield on myself, so I probably could reduce some damage if I got hit.
Make it a bit.
So wouldn't be too bad, but we'll see. I'm
How
dead.
well you can reduce 60 damage.
So just
1d6 plus 3. That's how many.
Just so you're aware, the ceiling where that trapdoor is 35 feet up, so you would have to have one of those tables that you were standing
Oh, I thought
on.
you said 25 feet up.
So if I did say 25, I apologize. In my notes, it is 35. I thought that I clarified that it was 35 feet up, but it is something that you are able to, standing on one of the tables, having moved it into the room, that gives you the extra distance where you would be able to do it.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, that was written in my notes that you were able to make it move into the table to be able to reach it with 30-foot spells. So, yeah. So
Nice.
All
I
right.
do think of
Solving
stuff.
crimes.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have legitimately thought of it. Like, it was the correct
Corso
things.
is our Batman.
Oh, yes. So,
Wait, nothing's wrong here.
with the table in the middle of the
table.
room, less
Robin,
able to
that's
stand
kinda
up on
sus.
there. Galahad essentially blocking the hallway as everybody else waits behind. Les, did you want to use your telekinetic movement to try and push on the door?
Try to remember like all of the training that I'd done.
That is not the right sound effect.
Did anyone else move out of the room when he did this? So it's just
Yeah, it's just him and then
Yeah.
Galahad kind of like
That's what I
blocking
gotta
the way a
do
little.
to concentrate. It's a tick, okay? It's just what I do. Go
Doctor Who.
Okay.
stay on point.
Oh god. Okay. So you standing on the table, you do and throw your force push at the ceiling. So you throw the force push up against the ceiling. You know that it works on loose objects. This being a trapdoor, you would imagine is loose, and you push against it, and you do feel and hear boom, 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 as if it's impacting against something that seems to be holding it in place.
Of course it is.
So it's like a
So
table
you would
top of
imagine
something.
that it's either underneath something or potentially locked on the other side, because all you see is the stone plate that's on the ground. But you know from experience that if this were a traditional trapdoor with an open free range of motion on the other side, you would be able to open it. It not opening means that something is preventing it on the other side that you can't see.
And if I pull it, it's only one way.
There is
up,
no
right?
pull. Yeah, there's no handle or anything like that. It is definitively a push. And you pushing against it, you see that it is like it's moving. It's just not completely moving. There just
Do I
seems to be
hear
something.
anything scuffle on top of it as I do that?
Make a perception check.
Hey yo. I think
maybe-
it's a 3. Perception. Yeah. Natural 20.
Okay, for a total of what?
+3, so 23.
23. Okay. There is a lot of flame crackling in the room, but you're able to shut a lot of it out. You focus in on the spell that you're on the ability that you're using, on the force being exerted on that. You hear the boom, 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 and then you stop for a second, and then you hear a from the other side. There is definitely something that kind of echoes down of something being moved on the other side of that door.
And no, there's no inkling of a voice or anything.
No inkling. You're far too far away for whatever a voice might be, but there definitively sounded like there was something that was being moved on the other side of that.
Son of a bitch. I think I heard someone scuffle around above that door. Someone might know we're here for sure now.
Okay.
Do we know...
Sorry. Wait, does he say that?
Yeah, I said it out loud.
Nebula would lean into the room and hold a finger to his lips, looking at you. If you say that, Nebula will approach, and he'll cast Minor Illusion in the room, making the sound that echoed the screeching of those creatures we were dealing with.
Okay. What's your spell save DC?
14.
Good cover up, my guy.
That's nice. That's cool. I like
That's
that.
a spicy meatball.
Good to
I'm
know.
That's
always
why
ready
you
to
get paid
give
the
this
big
shit up.
bucks.
So, good to know. The sound
Okay, cool.
was a
Cool,
single
cool, cool, cool,
sound.
cool, cool.
You
Yeah.
hear the of the creatures, and then with Nebula with the finger to his lips. What do you guys want to do?
All right. Yeah, I'm waiting until like everybody's back out before we can try. I will go back and whisper to Jewel. Were you trying to open the door?
Well, is there much else that we can do besides fuck around and find out, I guess?
Jules is just over it at this point. Fuck around, find out.
I would like to open the door, please.
I would like to cast Yeet!
We've already fucked around. Now let's find out.
Exactly.
Jules, how are you with your lockpicking skills?
She just kind of looks at you like, how good do you think I am?
They're
Rich people hands. Never
debating
fuck
on
picking.
As I consult my notes, how good am I at this?
If you or Phelan, who is better suited for this job? Although I suppose if anything goes sideways, you're better to take the hit, I guess?
I was just going to attempt to turn the handle, quite honestly.
Oh, well, yes, that makes sense.
If
And
I
Nebula-
can't get it open by turning the handle, then
You will kill us all.
I will turn to our resident lockpicker.
All right, yeah, Nebula definitely thought you were saying you were going to pick the lock and was like,
No,
what?
no, no.
I'm pretty good, doesn't yes, I've done pickup sticks.
Yeah, Jules looks at you
I'm
like,
sorry, Jules, I cast Divine Sense.
yeah,
Kill us all.
yeah. Jules will clear the room and get everybody back and stand in the doorway and attempt to turn the handle.
Okay. So you go to turn the handle, and it just doesn't seem to turn.
Okay. Now
Open
she'll
sesame.
kind of dispel the mage hand and throw her hands up and gesture to Phelan and go, it's locked.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Do we
Cool.
want to check the handle on all before we just...
Yeah, we can give it a crack.
All right, yeah, I'll give each one a little turn.
all of them are the same.
Okay. I just
That was
wouldn't
one
put it
shot.
past him to have one
What's a
open.
shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth a try.
Yeah. All right. Well, then I will jump on ahead to the front of the line. And since it is 30 feet, that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
That's
Yeah, I have
straight
to be like,
30
right
across.
by the door.
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
So I'm.
So there's essentially, because of how the room is laid out,
Mhm.
if you want to have the door partially closed, you would be able to attempt, and it sucks because the map doesn't really show this, but the door opens from the south, so it does this. So essentially you're able to look from the top part of the door across, or down. You wouldn't be able to look at the top door. If you're doing north, south, east, west, you would be either able to attempt to open the east door or the south door.
East or south? Okay, cool. Do we have a preference, or do I just go ahead and do whatever?
Fuck around and find out.
Whichever one, yeah. Cross sounds solid.
Okay.
Nebula's going to put his hand on Phelan and basically get a grip on his shoulders, and he's going to motion for Galahad there to place his hands on the door. And if anything goes wrong, we may want to pull you back.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have my shield ready.
So sort of like a readied action. I would like to pull him back if someone can shut the door if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so,
I can shut the door with the... Oh, no, I already did it. Fuck, never mind.
So we'll
I
say
can
that
shut the door.
we'll say that Galahad, given his height, is reaching over with one hand pressed against the door. Phelan is using one hand to hold the door open. What'll essentially happen is Nebula will pull Phelan back, the hand will release, and Galahad will go shunk, and the door will close, effectively hoping to trap the flame in there. Okay? All right, so we're going to go for the east door, the one across the way?
Yes, east door.
All right, so with your mage hand from 30 feet away, go ahead and roll your Thieves' Tools check.
Show me potato salad.
I rolled a 6 + 6 for a 12.
For a 12, you see the lockpicks on the other side go in, and it's tough to gauge the range at this, and you're trying to do your best, and you feel them kind of turning a little bit, but unfortunately hit that same third tumbler. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to get Nebula to make a... we're going to make this just a straight initiative roll to determine if you're able to beat the flames in terms of them actually exploding and coming through and hitting Phelan. So just roll initiative for me.
I'm going to roll it right there. Roll 20 so you can
Come on, Nebby. Come on.
Oh, it's a 7.
So that is a 12 for the flames. So the flames do act first. So with that, the flames erupt inside the room, licking everything.
Spicy.
And it will only hit Phelan because he's the only one that's standing in that space. But it will hit for... Where are my notes?
Jillian damage.
1 point of damage.
88 plus 50.
That's too many dice. You don't need more.
No, I had to get different dice. It's fine. All right.
Oh, thank God, it's not killing
So,
dice.
Phelan, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw to try and avoid the flame.
I'm good at those. I have a +6. Let's see what
Is
we
there
got.
anything about my holding on to him, ready to pull back, that matters at all here?
No, because it's your
My
movement
initiative
relative.
didn't happen fast enough. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Was there anything?
That's
I
a
can
15.
do to
9
shield?
+ 6.
That is a DC 15 dex save. So instead of taking 13 points of fire damage, you take 6 points of fire damage as it licks the edges of your fingers as
my
Nebula
God.
pulls you back at the last second, and Galahad slams the door closed. So you do take half damage on that. But you do know that your mage hand is now inside the room with your thieves' tools as a raging inferno blazes.
Yeah, my thieves' tools are probably fucked.
Well, if
Oh,
they're
God.
it depends, I guess.
Depends.
I didn't think
Okay,
about that.
It,
How many lockpicks
it
do you
rages
have
for
here?
about 6 seconds or so, and then you feel it start to subside. You guys hear the flames dying back down and going back into their braziers again, and you instinctively turn the handle and open up the door, and you see that your thieves' tools are still on the other side. The damage was not intense enough to melt the thieves' tools, but
You got home alone.
you have failed the check on that one specific door once.
Okay.
Think you can handle it again?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Here's a
Oh.
suggestion.
Yeah.
Maybe Galahad will be at the front with the shield, and then Phelan can lean over for the view.
It's a save though.
Yeah, regardless,
I know
it's
that. I
essentially
know that.
an initiative check to try and close the door faster than the
It's
flames
just Saint
act.
wants to be the one to make the check
Yeah.
instead of Phelan.
He wants to be able
Okay.
to get it.
Gotcha.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, well, sure, we'll say that's fine. So Phelan is effectively behind you, so you'll be taking the impact instead.
And I'm still gonna have my hands on Phelan, ready to pull back, basically to help get him down below the shield in time.
Gotcha. All right, we'll go for that then. So, Phelan, do you want to try and on the same door a second time, or do you want to switch to the other one?
I'm gonna try the south one this time.
Okay.
Or
Go for the south one.
Is it the south of the? Yeah, we can get the south
Yeah,
and the east,
south
right?
and the east. So the north is the
Cool.
one from your current perspective you can't do.
Okay.
All right. So go and make a sleight of hand check on the south door.
Okay, come on, baby. Please do better. So that's okay. That's much better. That's 15 plus 6 for a 21.
21. Okay. So this southern door, the lock here is different.
It's a mimic.
How fucking rude. How dare you invoke?
Delicious these tools.
By the way, just as a heads up for everybody in chat and all of you guys, I fucking hate mimics as a DM. They're so stupid, and I don't like using them. So don't worry.
Okay.
It's a
That's
door.
what he wants us
It's
to
a
think.
door.
So
it's
as
just
it bites you.
It's just a difficult lock. So, as your thieves' tools go in with the range that you have, you are a little bit closer to this one. You're looking through some of the flames, but kind of getting an angle on it as best you can. You lean out just a little bit further, and you're able to kind of feel it using the mage hand and start to and hit through all the different tumblers. The lock ping releases, and the door just ever so slightly begins to open outwards.
I think we're ready to go. South door is
Nebula.
open.
Nebula places a hand on you and says, "Not yet. Pull it open."
Okay. I'll place the thieves' tools to the side of the door and like just pull it open.
Okay.
And
It
again,
pushes
right at the
outward.
door
It
as
pushes
opens,
into
a small, like a crouched Nebula, like he's the one who just did that, is standing there, is minor illusioned at the door.
Okay. Good to know. So Crouch Nebula, as the door opens and you use the mage hand, and it pushes inwards towards the room that you would be going into. So it pushes out from where the braziers are. Nebula's kind of, the false Nebula's crouched there in a perfect stable position. And it, door opens without issue. You wait
Okay.
10 seconds, 20 seconds. Nothing seems to happen.
Okay. Good. And then I'll stand up and look at Galahad. Thank you. I think we can go in.
Say that given your angle, that's about what you're able to see inside the room.
Ooh.
All right.
And we'll motion for the others to let him know, like, it's open now.
Cool.
Let's go.
Okay.
I assume we make our way in.
It's up to you guys.
High five.
I turn back as like with a thumbs up to everyone with like my hair all singed and like
Like
burned.
on Outrise still on fire.
So you guys make your way into the brazier room. They are reacting the same way they were when you were in there previously. Phelan, you starting to look down a little bit further. You get a little bit more of a view into the room as you're kind of standing in here. You're able to see that now.
Oh God. Okay.
Now, just quickly, can I, as we've prayed at this before, can I just like kind of hunker down and see if I hear anything beyond that hallway there? Any kind of scuttering of footsteps
Make a
or
perception check.
chattering of teeth or rakshasas?
Or freaking flying back.
Rakshas sounds like a shout from Skyrim.
It's a 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
You hear a lot of sounds of crackling flame from where you are.
Yeah.
That's about all you get.
All right.
But you've got a room in front of you. It looks like there is a gap on the other side where maybe it turns left a little bit. But the room itself definitely opens up to the right.
Okay.
Who's going first? Is there?
I'll go first.
Yeah. Let the tank lead the way.
All right. So Galahad
Pick it
starts
up.
to push into the room. And the room is
Bring it.
unlit. But the light from the braziers is enough to give you a little bit of a view inside.
Bone marrow.
And you see,
I
I'll look up and there are bats.
I was gonna say specifically looking up.
Fuck a bat!
looking up, the ceiling in this is very similar to the ceilings that you had seen before. Very solid, very well built, little nets to prevent any falling debris from falling down onto the ground. The major difference is that this room is dominated by this massive table. 20 feet long.
Dominated by this massive bat. I was like,
20 feet long, 10 feet deep, about 4 or 5 feet off the ground, similar to the size of the other one that you had seen before. Very similar make structurally, very solid. The major difference is that in comparison to the others where they had large grooves and you saw a series of bones, this one you instead notice that there are very similar dark red stains on the table, but there is no debris. There's nothing underneath the table, there's no bones of any kind, but there are still darkened stains on the table itself. You also notice that on the table, although the map doesn't show it, there are small silver basins, 3 of them, that seem to have dried, crusted blood on the edges of them.
Detect magic still active.
Yes, it is. Looking at this, nothing inside this room appears to be magical. And getting a little bit of a better look and kind of looking further in, and especially now seeing the table and looking around the side, you do notice that there is one more door built into the side.
The Dark Lord of Doors has arrived.
The BBEG of the Feyline. The Lord of Doors has returned.
The Lord of Doors has returned. Shadow. Okay. Go back to the shadow.
Shut the door.
So I guess
Looks like it's safe.
You've stepped inside the room. There don't appear to be any creatures. Looking at the ceiling, you don't see any bats. In comparison to any of the previous rooms that you've been in, that there have been sounds that have been emanating, this one is silent.
Make a safe check.
Does anybody want to look around the room a little bit?
Yeah, Nebula is coming in. Nebula would want to immediately look for, I guess, you said it's quiet in this room?
Correct. There's a little bit of crackling flame from behind you, but none of the bat screeches that you'd seen before, or the breathing of the hellhounds. Yeah, nothing to indicate that there are other creatures in the room.
Then yeah, I'd just like to look around the room.
Okay, go and make an investigation check for me. You got a torch lit?
Some of us don't have special eyes.
21.
21, okay.
Damn.
The room itself is pretty bare. The walls are well reinforced, the door sturdy, the table very hefty, very heavy. And kind of looking around, the only thing that could really be there is a drawer on the table, and you find one. There is a small door that seems to just be hidden in the side of it. Not hidden per se. Jesus. Was that a cat?
That was a cat.
That just scared the fuck out of the whole stream. That was amazing.
Sorry, Luna decided to kamikaze my ring light.
It's all good.
I thought that was just Jordy making sound effects for like the drawer cracking open. I was like, shit.
Luna, you scared the people. What do you have to say to yourself?
So, Nebula, you looking around and finding this one little drawer that's just off to the side. You pull it out, and inside the drawer, you see that there appears to be a notebook, maybe? Small journal. Green tone, green exterior, maybe 20, 25 pages inside. No quill, no ink or anything like that. It's just the journal. It's closed with no markings on it of any kind.
Can I? How is it closed? Is it like just literally open it, or is there like a latch?
No, there's no latch. It's just like a thin notebook, essentially, just bound on one side, and you would be able to open it and flip through it like a book.
We've seen traps in here with the flames. I would like to check to see if there's anything odd about this notebook before I just go reading through it.
Does the notebook have any magic?
Oh, is there any magic coming on Detect Magic?
Okay, so opening up the little side part of the desk, looking in is Galahad. The notebook doesn't appear to be magical. The drawer doesn't appear to be magical. Best you can tell, doesn't seem to be anything about it. You roll an investigation check if you're looking for traps.
Yeah. So that one, that's a 4.
It's a 4. Okay.
Oh god.
You're confident. There's no traps. You reach in and you grab the book and you pick it up.
Nebula's gonna open the book.
You die instantly.
Oh my god, you die instantly and we lose. Who do we lose?
Kevin.
Oh, we lost Kevin? Oh god. All the cameras are messed up. Shit, I'm gonna have to join it myself. Give me one sec.
Look at me.
Who
Look
am
at
I
me.
a part of? I am.
I'm still here. We're good.
Okay, I'm
Kevin
just
said
gonna.
his
internet
Oh no! Yeah,
His
his
internet
internet's
cut. It's
gone.
fine.
half the man I used to be.
Man, of all the times for his internet to cut, really?
Yeah.
That's so brutal. All right, I'm going to reorganize these cameras really quick. Hopefully he's able to join back in before we get to the description of this notebook, because that's going to be fun. Phelan. Oh, that's not right. Just going to delete that.
Ah!
Sorry, that was loud. There we go.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yo, Lance, I just realized like you're wearing a freaking Hamilton sweatshirt. 10 out of 10.
Hey,
10 out of 10.
hey.
I'm wearing a Quest of Yours
It's the
shirt from the
closest
movie. I'm wearing Quest of Yours.
Okay, Kevin's back.
Onward.
Onward, baby.
Yeah.
My internet's been real bad right now, and I have no idea
I'm
why.
sorry I disconnected you, Kevin. I didn't
I
mean
It's
feel
to.
fine.
that in my heart.
All right, so drawer is opened, notebook is picked up, notebook is opened. Nebula, you begin to look through it. So, flipping through the journal, it outlines the travels of the writer across Wynandir, the area that you're in right now within the Dwendalian Empire, enjoying the frivolities of the mortal races and differing cities that it has encountered. Each city has its own series of pages, and the city entries each have 2 columns. The first is a list of paired letters, while the second is either blank or has some sort of text. But the language, what languages do you speak?
I speak. Oh, I'm a weird boy. I speak. My languages are on that page. I speak Abyssal, Common, Elvish, Sylvan, and Undercommon.
Okay, you do not understand this language. You see the descriptions are written in Common. The letters of the pairs of letters are written in Common, but whatever is written beside it is not written in a language you understand.
Okay, so I can see the pairs of letters, but I cannot read most of the journal, right? Or
Correct.
no, I can read.
You can read most of the journal. You can read the descriptions of things, and you see that as it progresses, the writing in Common is getting better. It seems to be chicken scratch and like not very well written to
They're
begin with.
learning.
But the one thing that does not change is in every city there is always essentially a table with a left column and a right column. The left column having pairs of letters, and the right column having something in another language that you do not speak.
Nebula, having read through all of that, is going to say to the group, it looks like one of our, guests here has been traveling around and might not be from this neighborhood. Opens it up and says, does anyone recognize this? And points to the letters. So it's a language that is not Abyssal, Elvish, Sylvan, or Undercommon.
Okay.
Is it primordial?
We'll go around. So let's start. Les, what are your languages?
Primordial and common.
Okay, it is not primordial. Jules,
Got that.
Common, Infernal, Elvish, Dwarven.
you recognize this language as Infernal.
I recognize it as Infernal too. I can read Infernal too.
Margot, you know Infernal as well?
I do know Infernal.
All right. Phelan and Galahad, do either of you?
I got Goblin.
Alrighty. So Jules and Margot.
Yeah.
You
Jules
two...
will step up and take it from him and start reading.
Okay. So Margot kind of leaning over your shoulder and reading it. The pairs of letters are written in Common. But in every table, there is always the same 5. And you flip through and you see that on the most recent one, Felderwin is the title. And on the right-hand column, you see Mistress Fierna, Lord Belial, a space, Lady Glazia, and a space.
Can I roll a history on these names?
So, do you read the names out to everybody in the room? Or do you just...
I'm gonna... I read them myself
Yourself.
first
Okay.
and see if I recognize
So,
them.
Jules and Margot, you can both make religion checks for me.
You found the death note.
Oh, God.
Religion, okay.
Don't put your name in it.
I
That
take
is
a
9
potato
plus
chip
4, so 13.
and eat it.
Let's just put it this way. I wouldn't know if it hit me above the head. That was a 2.
That was a 2.
That was two little American accent.
Hmm. Yeah, I got a 13.
A 13. Okay.
But wait, that was actually a 3.
A 3 and a 13.
Hooray.
Looking over
makes
these
all
names, neither of you recognize what they refer to, but they're written in Infernal.
Okay, I'll then read them out loud to the rest of the party for the rest
Okay.
of the party to see if they recognize.
Everybody else can make a religion check for me.
Religion!
That's
Paladins
right.
get
I'm a
said, "We got
Wait,
this."
hang on, what's my bonus?
A 19.
14.
13.
Keeping in mind, I probably don't know very much.
That's a 13 for me as well.
13 for you as well. Okay. So anybody over an 18?
19 on
Baby.
Phelan.
19 on Phelan. Okay. You recognize these. Fierna and Glazia, not as much. Belial, you know Belial. Belial is the father and predecessor of the current lord of the 4th layer of the 9 hells.
I don't even want to write notes. I don't even want to write the note. Nope.
And as you think about it more, you start to come to it, the former lord. Wait, who's the current lord? Fierna's the current lord, his daughter. And so you recognize 2 of the names on the list, as one is the current lord of the of the 4th layer of the 9 hells, and one as the father, the predecessor to the current lord of the 4th layer of the 9 hells. And the 4th layer is specifically Thelagos, and I'll send this to you in chat because it is.
Thank
I
you.
don't feel I know so much about demons, though.
I guarantee you will not be able to spell this correctly.
It's a
That-
PH. Yeah, I knew it was a PH.
Felagos.
yeah, so
I
it's
can't
Thelagos.
spell anything correctly, so.
Now,
Okay.
flipping back through the book, Jules and Margot, you see that there are 2 other names that are written in every other table. After Phelan describes this as the 9 hells, and the more you flip back, the more you realize, oh, we know these ones. And one of them is Beelzebul, and the other is a name that everybody knows, and that is Asmodeus.
El Diablo.
The Lord of the Ninth, the King of the Hells, the deity that resides over the entirety of the 9 hells. There is also a note on the final page, the latest entry, hastily scribbled in Infernal in comparison to the rest of the book. Majority of it
Marco
being
wants to
written in
Marco
Common.
wants to read it out loud to everybody. What does it say, Jordy?
Do you want me to send it to you?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to send it to you so you can read it out.
Yeah.
Is muy diablo.
This is not reading in the head. This is reading out loud. This is reading out loud.
So,
Our work here is not yet done, but I believe we have been revealed. Attempts will be made to hasten and to remove, but I shall not displease the masters. They must be satiated.
We're gonna be situated.
and that is going to be where we end tonight's session.
No!
So,
Okay.
Someone gonna get situated. Situated.
That's it, I'm outta here.
Situated.
Ah!
the final entry for those in chat who missed it. Our work here is not yet done, but I believe we have been revealed. Attempts will be made to hasten and to remove, but I shall not displease the masters. They must be satiated.
They're scrolls.
So, thank you so much, all of you players, and lovely intrigue and managing through not only the combat there, but also figuring out exactly and picking an interesting door into a random room with a DC 18 investigation check required to find this little compartment on the side. Very nice roll from Nebula. and you have another door in front of you with 2 other locked ones behind that we get to pick up with next week. So, thank you, chat. Appreciate you guys sticking around. Some awesome raids tonight, by the way. Big shout-outs to the raid teams. That was, who was it? Nat21 and Geekly Incorporated. You guys came in huge and clutch with that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is an ongoing campaign for those of you who are new here. This is episode 16 of our Phalai campaign, initially started by the lovely Kevin Parr, currently playing Les Paul, but taken over by me on episode 11, with the current arc being my own little baby in creation. So if you want to check it out, we'll go ahead and pop our YouTube link in chat. You can go check us out on YouTube or socials. There we go.
It's the only episode that's not on YouTube due to accidental corruption was episode 4, wasn't it?
I think it was either 4 or 7 or something like that. It was one that, like, not a huge amount really happened in comparison. But since I took over, everything on the current arc is there. So yeah, so that's the cool stuff that you can catch on.
It was Kevin's fault.
No, it was actually my fault because I was in charge of downloading. Anyways, I'll take responsibility for it. But yeah, everything from our current arc is on there, and the group is currently in Felderwin and Wildmount, and we've got some awesome players, and we appreciate you guys sticking around for it. Check us out on YouTube, follow us on our channel. We're going to do this every other Tuesday. This is going to be a campaign that is bi-weekly, and we start at 5:30-ish p.m. EST. PST.
And we got
PST.
2 other streams as well.
We do. We've got our Monday campaign, which is weekly. Kevin runs that one, a campaign called Beyond the Realms, which is every possible interaction with every possible piece of geek culture, from Marvel to a little bit of DC to Avatar: The Last Airbender to space to all kinds of shit. It's worth checking out. But yeah, we're going to be back with this one in 2 weeks, and otherwise our next stream is on Saturday with the Chromatic Dragon Saga, starting from level 1 with some awesome players some of which have never played D&D before, and they are killing it now. They just finished episode 6, running through Horde of the Dragon Queen. So, hope you guys had fun. I know that was a nice cliffhanger ending. I like doing that. But I'm excited to get back here in 2 weeks and let you guys explore a little bit further, decide which door you want to open next, and what exactly lies ahead.
So, fighting hell.
All the love in the world. Appreciate all of you. Everybody else in Stat Chat, all the rest of you, stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands. We love you guys, and we'll see you back here very soon.
Good night.
Bye.